Sweet Home Alabama, play it! You guys shred! 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 You guys shred!
Welcome to You Guys Shred. When you get a shot glass thrown at your head, you know how to castrate a pig, and a homeless man rock, paper, scissors you for a cigarette. I am your host, Keaton Stewart.
I'm your co-host, Tyler Christensen.
If you guys like our podcast and want to support us, it really helps out if you subscribe, share, and review. You can find our musical project, Poet Bones, on all your preferred streaming platforms, as well as our merch at poetbones.com. You can check out our podcast merch, You Guys Shred, at bonfire.com/YouGuysShred. Today's guests are some of the most authentic, honest, heartfelt, and sincere humans I've had the pleasure of knowing. They have some brand new music on the horizon, and you can check out their newest single, Sheep, everywhere. Please enjoy Gray and Tyler of Charlatan. So we like to normally start with how we know the guests. And I feel like I first met you guys or found out who your band was. We both opened up for Let Live back in 2015 or something.
Yeah,
like forever ago at the loading dock.
That was one of the funnest shows of my life.
Right?
That was actually like a milestone in my career for me.
Yeah.
It was. So before that, though, before we were able to open for them, we had the Charlatan. We call it the Charlatan shit show. It's probably the worst show.
It was the worst show we ever did.
Ever. So many just everything.
We're already interrupting
everything that could go wrong went wrong. It was so bad. Just like equipment going out, people messing up parts.
Literally what this is about.
And the only person in the audience was Lonnie, the drummer.
For Let Live.
Yeah, they were playing a town. I don't remember how we invited him.
I bought. Oh yeah. This we're already getting into it.
Might as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't.
My bad.
So
it just hurts so much. I had to. Bring
yeah.
it up.
No, it's
hurts
painful.
so good.
You started really right here, right in there.
Let's get. I mean, we're meat and potatoes. Let's get in. You
So,
started great.
So we have a bunch of friends that are in this like broship thing.
Yeah. I remember the broship.
Yeah. And so like I Am the Ocean guys, you know, they're
that
like
band,
really good friends with Let Live.
Loom.
Yeah.
I grew up watching those bands, dude.
Loom, that's Michael Kundick, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What'd you call
So
him?
Careful. Yeah.
So Jason Butler had this like writing
He was in the broship
seminar.
as well.
Yeah, for sure. And they've got their own cool story about like how that happened. But he had this writing.
That's true. With I'm the Ocean.
Yeah, where they like got in a fight, trash cans are involved.
So cool.
I don't know the exact.
That's their story to tell. Yeah.
Yeah, that's their story.
Anywho,
that's not
sorry.
ours. So he had this like writing seminar before their show, and they were playing at the complex, and it was me and one other dude paid for it.
Do you remember who they were touring with at the time? Because like the first time I
think
saw
it was
them
Taking
was
Back Sunday.
Okay, yeah, because they were just blowing up. The
Yeah.
first time I saw them, we were in high school, and they were playing with like Miss May I and Pierce the Veil, and they opened the show, and it was like such a like rock and roll breastfeeding, dude. It was just like they came out, and he just jumped right out into the crowd, right onto us. He broke like 3 different mics, and it's just like at that point. Obviously, we grew up liking punk rock, but never witnessed it. And you're like, "Oh my god, this is like so real. This is no one has ever made me feel like this.
Yeah,
like it was so dope. So, which makes sense why you guys ended up, all of us been on the show with them because you guys do that same kind of thing to audiences. So going from that, I mean, we can come back to that because that's a whole thing in itself. So, Jason Butler had this writing seminar. You're the only 2 dudes.
Yeah, it was me and some dude from Idaho. He drove down. And I still we're still friends.
So it's like
on
a VIP package type
deal.
deal.
Yeah, we just paid for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then we're like sitting there talking to him, like, "Hey, how do you do this?" And then he's just like talking about his process. I was like, "It's not my process." You know? I'm like, "This is cool to like hang out with you, but like, that's not my shit." You know. But anyways, we're like, "Hey, yeah, we're actually."
Do you kind of mind touching on the differences between your
one thing that specifically stuck out to me, I was like, for you, what comes first, the lyrics or the melody, you know? And he's like, melody, always melody. And I'm like, was really hoping because like
because you're different than everyone else. You write out lyrics and handwrite them as well. Yeah.
And I'm a very lyric driven person, and you know, like well, I think I could say this at one point. At the time, I was like very well read, you know, and I knew that he was, and his vocabulary's just way better than mine, especially like in interviews. It almost seems like he's like, I'm trying to use my words like correctly, you know, and I'm just like, fucking this, fucking that.
I got a high vernacular.
But when it comes to words, like words are really important to me. And so I was really hoping that he would say that the lyrics came first.
Yeah, because he does have some like crazy, really good, like meaningful lyrics and stuff too that they have. So I like. I mean, I guess I haven't digested Fever 333 as much, but like Let Live was one of my favorite bands.
Yeah. Fever 333 is amazing, by the way. Like, and I don't want to.
I need to go and
like,
but
I
like,
think
especially for just like a trio.
Oh yeah,
God, it's so
well. I mean, they're
so
like
good.
three of the best at what they do.
Right, super group.
You know, it
there's
really
a reason
is.
it took off.
I mean, and there's a reason too why people compare them to Rage Against the Machine, because it's like it is that like super powerful dynamic, and like everybody has their own thing, right? And respectively, they are amazing at what they do. Like they all hold their ideologies, right? Like.
Yeah, you can tell they're not
like
up there
Tom
bullshitting
Morello's,
for sure.
Yeah, like Tom Morello believes in everything that's like
the
being
dude went to
said.
Harvard for like political science.
Yeah,
like they're not stupid.
Yeah, and no one should ever even dream of saying that they are, right?
Yeah.
But like, I think that there's a reason why they're compared to them, because like, yeah, I mean, they're great at what they do, and like they believe in what they're saying. And also the person who is saying it is like just a very intelligent person, just like Zach
De La Roche.
Yeah, De La Rocha or whatever.
I don't know.
Rage Against the Machine. I don't know his fucking name, dude.
The white guy.
That's the other thing. I don't know people's names really. You know,
I don't know
like
that.
I like your fucking music. That's all I'm trying to say. But
you were hoping his lyrics would come, or his lyrics would come before melody. When you met him,
I was. So like in Fever 333, I think that like that's when he was just. I think that he didn't really care about the lyrics or the melody. He was just going like, I'm going by feeling, and that's fucking rad, right?
Right.
And in Let Live, when I talked to him, because this is before Fever 333, I was really hoping that he'd be like, yeah, I'm really trying to like say things, and then I'm making the melody match, because that's what I tried to do forever. And he's like, no, it's always melody first. And I'm like, nah, fuck. Why can't anybody?
You just wanted to be validated.
Yeah, I wanted to be validated. Yeah, and it wasn't the case. But anyways, at the end of that, I was like, hey, we're throwing your after party show. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, no, we're in tight with the bro ship, and it's over at Metro. He's like, oh yeah, no, I get that. I know that. And I was like, all right, so come. And then Lonnie was the only one that came, and we were playing some birthday party. It was like a drag show birthday party, and we had a host, and it
Memories.
This is all like I could feel it from my toes to my forehead.
I was gonna say it's like the Fortunate Sons playing Vietnam flashback helicopters overhead.
There's been many times where Charlatan almost broke up, and I would say that was the first time. Yeah,
dude,
and I think
love
that
this.
every time anything goes wrong, we look back to that time and we're like, it's never been good since then.
I think Connor quit shortly after that.
Oh no, it was like a couple weeks after. He was like, "Fuck you guys, you embarrassed me in front of my heroes." I was like, I didn't do shit, dude. But no, I
didn't do fucking shit. I didn't do this.
And we were young and fucking dumb. And
I'm not worried about any of it.
I'm not worried. Yeah, I'm not worried about this.
The guys at Corn Cop TV just think I'm a dumb hick. They said that to me at a dinner. Sorry. Yes.
Have you seen the Detroiters?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, dude, you're talking to the number one fan over here.
No, I feel it. I feel it.
I'm sorry. We went off the rails.
I love you and I trust you.
I digress. Fuck. I'm sorry.
I don't know what I'm talking about either.
So what you were just saying that fucking show.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't even know why I'm talking about that show.
No, I kind of brought it up, but it comes around because you were talking about like
the first
when,
time breaking
yeah,
out.
when we opened up with with you guys with For Let Live, that was like
Yeah.
the redemption
Yeah.
for us.
So
'Cause,
when
like,
you
Juan
played that
had
show,
saw
it just
us-
went so bad.
It was so bad.
It was so bad. And then
So
when
bad.
But this is awesome though, because this is the whole reason the podcast is what it is because everyone has this like glamorous idea of being in a band, or
Right.
if there's this successful band, they're like, oh, I wish I could just be them. When it's like,
I'm sorry. Good thing that was empty.
your beer's broken, you need another one.
It's not allowed. Shouldn't be allowed.
You can't
Sorry.
skip lunch. Someone who doesn't I think you should leave is gonna be so confused.
Yeah, well, fuck them.
But that's like the whole point, because they just, it sheds light on the low lights. Like everybody from the high level to the low level, wherever you're at in the music industry or your band, it doesn't matter how many followers you have, you still have uncertainties, you still have problems that come up, things you have to challenges. So it's just I think it's comforting to have a community of people and oh no, they've gone through shit too. It's like
Right.
they earned where they're at. It's not like they just came out of nowhere on a game show, but also no disrespect if that's how it goes, but you're gonna have to go through some shit.
Yeah.
It's just inevitable.
Oh, and I would say too that the Charlatan shit show that night that we're talking about, I remember that more than any other show.
Yeah,
I remember it more than any good show that we ever played.
Yeah, I remember
it's how you deal with those
fucking-
moments.
another bad one was Elko when we went.
Elko, Nevada.
Yeah, dude.
Got a shot glass thrown at me.
Did you play at
you were
a
throwing-
casino?
No, it was a saloon.
Shit, hick bar. So they had at that show they had, the monitors facing.
Oh my God.
They were behind us. They were facing the mics, so they all the monitor sound
Here's
was
the-
going
oh,
right into the mics, and so it was just feedback the entire time. Gray was getting pissed and throwing trash cans all over the place.
Yeah, I
was
threw
so
down the
bad,
mic.
dude.
I just started yelling at these cowboys. I went out into the crowd. I picked up the trash can and threw it in the middle of the crowd. Somebody threw a fucking shot glass at my head. I had the shot glass for a long time until I sold that van, and then I
Wait, so
sold
did it
it.
just thunk you on the head and fall down, or did it break?
No, it went right past me, and it hit something behind me, and I picked it up, and I was like, yeah!
I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah. And I kept that forever. And then...
Did it say anything on it like Elko, or is
No,
it just,
it's just
you
a fucking shot glass that was meant to fucking hurt. And this old dude comes up to me. He's like, hey, turn down your drums. And I can't even hear shit. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, turn down your drums. And I just fucking took the mic. I was like, that's not how drums work.
Yeah. Oh man, and the guy who was running the show, he was so proud of his new mixer. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah, dude, I can't wait to test this baby out. Don't really know how it works,
I don't know
but
shit.
yeah. I mean, I don't know how it works, but
I don't either, but I don't pretend that I do.
yeah.
I love that Rory Scovel has a bit about that where he's like, we have all these really cool documentaries, but how about we scale it back and do some shit how does this microphone work?
Yeah, dude.
I just
think about
talk and
that.
it comes through whoa, talk about vinyl the how does it even work? The
Oh, you don't
needle
know?
grabs the sound. What are you saying?
Dude, anytime I think I'm smart, I think about those two things exactly. And I go, I don't know shit.
You guys don't know about it? Well, sucks to be you.
I don't know. How do you take
I know-
vibrations
I
and
know
make it sound
Dude,
exactly
think about
like
some,
everything?
another one of his jokes. Think about cement. It's just this soupy shit, and then it's just all of the buildings.
Yeah.
And then he's
Yeah.
like, "Don't let me get dry," because then it just.
Yeah, dude.
What?
You ever seen a fucking
concrete.
concrete bag that got rained on?
Yeah.
You're like, why is this heavier?
Yeah, it's ruined.
How? How
It
is
just
it
doesn't
heavier?
make any sense.
No. I put it here.
Sorry. Where were we? Fuck.
that real?
Fuck.
I
Where
don't-
were we?
Yeah.
Where were we? We keep
know if
getting
that-
off.
I don't know. It's stupid. Let's just
dude.
No, it's good. Oh yeah. Threw a shot glass at your head.
Oh yeah. No, what I was saying is that the bad shows are the ones that we remember. And when
Right.
people are like, "Oh yeah, I need to hear that from my heroes or whatever," and I'm not even pretending to be anybody's hero.
Okay,
What I-
dude. You got someone has your face tattooed on them.
yeah, but
That's
they're
true.
they're actually really cool. I was
Like,
gonna
come
say,
on,
yeah,
dude.
but they're from Iceland or something. They're
That's even cooler.
yeah, no.
Another human has
I
your
shouldn't be a
face
hero though.
tattooed on you. Tattooed on them. They got their face on you.
they got my face on them, and what they don't know is that my face looks different every 2 months.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is the kids that listen to music and they're like, oh, I want to be a musician, and that like the ones that quote unquote need to hear this kind of stuff, it's like what they really need to hear is like none of this shit matters.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's what people need to hear. What they need to hear is like, yeah, you're going to have bad shows, and those are going to be the ones that you remember. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to have good shows, and you're going to forget about them. And then you're going to forget all the fucking good bands you played with. And you're going to fucking, like, all you're going to remember is the bad shit. And that's going to be the fun shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like,
so what roundabout what you were saying is just live in the moment always.
Just not even that. I wouldn't say live in the moment always. That's stupid to me. I don't know. And that's just to me.
No,
that,
yeah.
Like,
So
I don't think it's I would just, that's not a way to live for me. What I would say is that don't care about the next moment. Like, like if you're just doing this to like be somewhere or like have something, some sort of like modicum of success that you've heard about, it's like, well, you're dumb and you're not going to get it, and you're going to fucking really feel bad, or you're going to get it and then you're going to be like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be.
Right.
And then it's like, you're stupid. Like, make the art. That's the only fucking thing that matters.
Yep.
Make the art. Who gives a fuck?
Yep. Before
Make
we started,
the art, hang out, you know, go to a podcast.
Have fun
and
with your friends.
It's like, like you were sitting there going like, oh, you know, the podcast, like, it's like, we don't do sponsors or anything. It's like, who cares, dude? We're just fucking four dudes hanging in a basement talking about shit that we like. That's what matters.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that it's a successful podcast.
Having the things removed is what makes it good for us.
Oh, for
is what
sure.
I'm saying. Yeah. So like, what
and
I was
don't get me,
meaning is
don't,
saying,
I wasn't talking shit
no,
on
you're
this.
good. No,
I'm saying that this is the cool part.
Right. Exactly. This is the yeah. But like, I feel like with having no money like involved, you don't even have to think about that. Yeah. Like, it's not even a stress.
Yeah.
It's nothing over your head because it's like all about just having a conversation.
For sure.
That's it. You don't have when you have the money involved. That's we said it before we started the podcast, just talking about like Rick Rubin and stuff, and just like make the art. Just put out the art. That's it. Like, you
this
don't
couldn't
need,
be recording, and I'd be like, yeah, this was a good Sunday.
Exactly. It's a day well spent.
You don't even know how it works.
Yeah.
I do.
Well,
I know how
we have the two Tylers here for that reason.
That's them idiots.
We brought our own co-hosts.
I did want to say, like, going back to what you were talking about, like, yeah, you do remember the bad shows and everything.
Right.
Those do stick out the most to me. But I think, like, the last show that we played, the Crucial Fest one.
Oh yeah,
that was probably the first show that I'm like, man, I did good.
Right.
Interesting.
Like, even though I fucked up, you know, like everybody always does.
No, I agree.
You're going to every show. Yeah.
But
you're going to.
So much fucking fun at that show. It was amazing.
I think
that was
that's
probably my best performance ever.
I think that's what we're getting like around to. It's like the mindset.
Yeah.
Because I remember good shows. If I go before this and go, it doesn't matter what happens. I'm having fun with my friends. We're playing music, and this is what life's about for me, is playing music and doing this with my friends and sharing this moment with other people that are here, like at the St. Raven one. Like, I had like a little bit of a moment of silence before going on stage, and just I like to kind of just remember and just list down the things of like, this is what I'm grateful for. This is awesome that I get to do this with my friends, because obviously one day I'm not going to be able to. You never know when one of our friends' last day is. You never know when they quit, or like when. I think about that every time now, and as long like this could be our last show.
Yeah.
If you keep that mindset, you enjoy. I personally, I can't speak for other people, but I personally enjoy it the entire time.
Yes.
And it's like, but if I'm in my head about something else, you know, with a bad thing, focusing on some sort of negative thing that happens, then that's what all I'm going to think about or remember it as, is that negative thing. So mindset.
I think that live shows especially, and I've talked about this a lot with our bass player Paulie, they need to be dangerous, you know, and I think that art in general needs to be dangerous. But like, it should be like, in my opinion, I think that they should all be your last show you'll ever play, you know?
Yeah, you leave nothing on the table. You go out in there, you put it all on the stage. Yeah.
I think that's why I liked our last show so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that pictures from that
It was
looked
fun.
amazing. I wish I
It
could
was
have been
so
there. Yeah,
fun.
you had like the Crucial Fest underwear. Did
Yeah.
you print that beforehand?
No, they were selling them. And they're women's
Oh!
underwear.
I thought it was one step further. You're like, oh, we're playing Crucial Fest. I need to make my own underwear for it.
No,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
No, they were selling them, and I was like, "Hey, I'll give you a shirt for the underwear." He's like, "Sure."
Fuck yes, dude.
He's
So
like,
tight.
and actually, he didn't even take the shirt. He's like, "As long as you wear them on stage, I'll give them to you." And I was like, "Cool, that's all I'm wearing."
That's awesome. That's the fun stuff.
for real.
That's the spontaneity and like the unpredictable part. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah. No, I
Just make the art.
make the art.
I think that's the thing is
That's my motto.
you can just get caught up in all the other bullshit and social media and all that different it's just like those are just tools to like promote your shit or whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be looking at it as like this just like I need to make sure I'm always on this thing scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I there's a couple comedians they talk about like they just have someone else that controls their social media, and I wish I could have that. Just that, you know what I mean? Because just never look at it. You can still make the art and send it to them, and they can post it and do whatever the fuck they.
Yeah.
But you don't have to worry about any of that.
Dude, I
You can't be
remember,
influenced by strangers, you know.
and you will be. You shouldn't be. But I remember, like in 2016, it's when bands started talking about making content
Instead of art.
Yeah,
they were.
and
yeah.
I wanted to kick. I mean, and my band included. I just wanted to kick everyone in the fucking teeth. Like, what do you mean? Like, okay, cool. You want to make stupid, silly videos and stuff. Call that content, you know. But like, you want to like fucking make music videos and you're like calling it content, or you're trying to like
Instead of art,
you're trying to throw out singles as content. It's like, dude, fuck you. How are we even on the same fucking level? How can you talk to me? How can you talk to me about like something that I love so dearly and you call it content? You know, like I get on OnlyFans, I jack off. That's content.
Yeah, that's
You know,
where you get
that's
your money.
content.
Yeah.
I post pictures of my little balls and dick. That's fucking content. You know, I'm releasing music. That's fucking art.
Yeah.
That to me. And if you're talking about your fucking music on the same level as me jacking my little dick, it's like, fuck you, dude. Don't talk to me. Like we can talk, but I don't give a fuck about your content when it comes to music.
Yeah. Yes, dude.
Yeah.
I knew this would be a good episode too, because it's something I've always loved and respected about you, and knowing so much more after listening to the episode on the Band Buds is like, oh, dude, Greg is a real motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like you don't fuck around. If you're gonna say something or you're gonna say it, you mean it.
Yeah.
I love that. How are you guys? I mean, obviously, I'm sure it's different each time, but what's like the main kind of concoction for a Charlatan song? Or I guess recently, how's it been working?
I would, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tyler. I think that for the most part, it goes, we argue about what should go first, and then we make the music, and then I write the lyrics, and then we change the music, and then that's the song.
So are you, when you get the music, then are you sitting and like digesting kind of the song and like, okay, what are the words here? Because you're saying that's like, because I'll do that too, where it's like, what's the story? What is this music telling me? Like, where is it guiding me? Where what is the story? Because the words are already there. It's just you got to pick them off. That like Rick Rubin talks about. It's like a conveyor belt, and you just need to pick them off the conveyor belt. I'm almost might as well keep that there. I'm almost done.
No, you're right. Keep going.
No, so like in the studio, obviously with like China, that's kind of the idea behind the music video, right? You're kind of going around the city and you're writing your lyrics, and so I love that music video, by the way. I love that.
That music video has nothing to do with the music either.
I wasn't there.
It doesn't?
For that.
No.
Because then at the end, you know, at the very end, yeah, he comes into the studio and hugs you guys, and
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Never mind.
You weren't there for the
forget.
first part of the day, but you were there
Yeah.
for the end of it.
That's right.
but I mean, sometimes that art has that way where it doesn't
I don't think
correlate
I've
to
seen
the
it since
song,
it came out.
but that's like the idea of the video, right? Is like you're walking around, that's coming up with the words, and then
Yeah. So like, yeah, for China, that was a very specific case too. So Quinn Allman, he sent me a bunch of songs and was like, hey, write lyrics to these. And
I just remembered I was in the studio when he came in and did this stuff with you guys. Yeah, because
Right.
Bucket was like filming your guys' conversation and stuff.
and
That's another.
it was horrible. Don't turn on the mic around me.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about that. But I remember that was another instance because that was probably after the Let Live show where I was like, wow, this Gray dude is like, this is like, he doesn't fuck around. He actually has real thoughts.
Yeah.
Which is awesome because sometimes
Which is rare, unfortunately.
Well, because sometimes when you meet people for the first time, you kind of have the like, what should I say, like first date kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to reveal too much of myself.
Yeah.
Because but first is you have that where you're like, no, this is who I am. You don't like it? Fuck you. If you do, cool.
And
cool.
Yeah.
Which I love. I think a lot of people respect that about you as well because you like the confidence. Like it takes a lot of confidence to get up on stage and put it all up there, to go up in the underwear. Like a lot of people, like there's no way I'd ever do that.
Right.
I wouldn't dress in like back when you guys dressed in drag for Warped Tour. No one had done that. AC/DC I think did that back in the first thing, but I hadn't heard of anybody of my friends or anybody ever doing that.
Right. A lot of people have dressed in drag for art, and.
But I mean, just like in my own experience, I hadn't.
Well,
seen
I think
anybody
that was the difference, right? Is a lot of the people that I respected as artists that did it. It's like the South Park dudes, right? They did that for like
I love that.
The Oscars or the Emmys or whatever.
Yeah, and they had the one. Did you see that?
And they were high as fuck.
Did you see the documentary?
Yeah,
where, like the one guy
7 Days to Air.
They
or
had to
whatever.
keep him like. They would only say like it's a magical night, no matter what they would say. That's what they responded with. It's a magical night. It's so funny, so good. I love it.
And other people like Marilyn Manson, who's obviously controversial even more so now, which is fucking kind of weird. So when it comes to the drag thing, like a lot of the people that I respect as artists have done that way before us, right?
Yeah, right. David Bowie
I think that what, exactly, right. I think that what you're talking about though is we were nobody who won a stupid voting contest to play a local show at Warped Tour,
right?
And for the most part, everybody's trying to look their fucking coolest.
Yes.
And
because
like,
I've also had that same experience,
right.
and I've done it twice. The same kind of thing. You're trying to you want like, oh, this is a big deal. I'm trying to I need to look cool.
Yeah.
I think for us, like one of the biggest factors that goes into it is like, hey, what would be the funniest thing to do?
Oh, absolutely.
Like that's the thing for us. It's just like what would be funny? What's the funniest thing to do? And
but
people don't remember the bands that just are dressed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And, like,
yep.
they-
Well, no
they
one
remember
remembers us either, by the way.
I don't
well,
care
apparently
about
not if
that
Keaton's
aspect.
Always coming back to your face is tattooed on somebody, man. That's something to be said.
Yeah.
You've impacted another human's life that much.
But yeah, for me and you, like I know I can speak for you on that, but yeah, it's just like what would be the funniest thing to do,
Yeah.
and then we do that.
That's mostly how our songs start too. For a
Yeah.
lot of the
That's
the creative process. Back to it.
I was gonna bring it back to that too, because like how it's been lately has been shit. We haven't been in there in fucking months,
Right.
but it's kind of been a little this and that. Like maybe it's a demo that somebody had that we.
Like a
I don't know,
seed of
just
an
break it.
idea.
Yeah. Or we'll just be like, you know what, you want to just write a song right now,
Jam
and
it
then we
out?
do that. Yeah, I think that's the last session we had was just that I still haven't heard.
So then, are you on your end? Sorry to interrupt. Are you on your end then always collecting then? Because I'll do that kind of. You hear like a phrase, you're like, oh, I'm gonna keep that. That's a great phrase. I'm gonna use that for something. You're doing that as well.
Yeah. In fact, like, not only me, but like Tyler and the rest of the band. So like Tyler has the last song pretty much figured out of this. So we're doing like a 3-part EP, and
Kill yourself, right?
Yeah. And
I just have the end.
right,
Like
he's just got the end.
The
but
ends of the album. Like
he knew
the
how that
end
was
of the
going to be
last
at the
song.
first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Right. And so we
Brilliant.
we
That's
went in
cool.
and did the
Yeah.
demos. We actually did the demos for the second EP different than we did for the first, because we're like, we took way too long. And then here we are taking long again.
Yeah.
But
Well, you can't force the process though.
I believe that. But it's
It just sucks on the other hand
Yeah.
because you're like, oh, crap, I want to force it. Yeah,
Right.
I want it to be done.
Fucking 4 years
Right.
later, you're
So-
like, all right.
Yeah. Yep. I know.
So
Yeah.
we started this song. It's the first song on the second EP. It's called Trudge, and like we've got the whole instrumental demoed out, and then the process is going to be like, so we got it demoed out. I'm gonna write the lyrics. We're gonna go in. We're gonna do drums. We're gonna re-record like final guitars, final bass, all that, and then I'm gonna finally go in and then invite all the other voices back on it, right? And that was the first song that we did of the second EP. And we already have the rest of the second EP and some of the third EP demoed out. And I've been ruminating over this line even before we started the first EP. And the line is, pink hasn't crossed your mind. It's just the way the sun went down. And it's just this line
Like
that
an
means
earworm
something
that's
to
stuck
me.
in your head.
It just means something to me. And I know what, but it's not something I can like convey to make anybody else feel
Right.
the way I feel about that line.
And the cool thing is, I think it's better that you don't tell me.
Right.
Because then it can mean something else for me.
Yeah. No. And that's why I can't tell you is because like it.
Because it's not gonna. I'm never gonna be able to feel the same way
No.
you are. Yeah.
And
yeah.
I don't want you to.
Right.
Like as a person who cares about the words that I'm saying, I say the words that I say because I need to say them. I don't say the words that I need to say because I need you to hear what I'm saying.
Yes. Rick Rubin talks about that all the
Yeah.
time. I feel like we also talked about it on your podcast, Talking in Tongues, when I came on. That was like the first podcast I ever did, where
was
we were talking about
forever.
like you should be your first and only, like you should be your biggest fan
Yeah.
of your music.
Right.
Like you should be making it for an audience of one.
Mhm.
You should never make anything for the audience in service of the audience.
Yeah.
They don't know what they want.
Right.
If you're making, and then if it feels like anybody who ever has made anything that's like, oh, this group, this demographic's gonna like this, it usually ends up being shit.
Yeah.
I would say 99% is shit.
Yeah, the only other people I keep in mind are just like Gray and the rest of the band. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you guys would like this.
Yeah.
This is cool.
But it's because you're collaborating on
Right.
the piece.
Exactly.
That's different. But you're also working together on the piece, so it's like as a collaborative, you're one.
Well, and you know how many times I've had conversations about what I've said on a song, and someone's like, "You can't say that," and I'm like, "Fuck you," to my band. You know, the biggest.
Oh, meaning content-wise, like in the song, not meaning how
Yeah.
someone feels about.
Like,
yeah, right.
Well,
right.
and they're like, so the first instance that it ever happened, it was on Bone Dance.
Interesting, and that's such a cool music video. I've always
Yeah,
loved that
thanks.
music video, dude. You got to pull up in the van, just fucking banner goes down. Yeah, I love that.
I fucking chipped my guitar on that music video.
That music video wasn't even supposed to be that. Heath and I had a music video written for that song before we ever wrote the song.
Wow.
Yeah. It was
So,
just
but that's cool though, because you guys just go with the flow
Yeah.
of it. Yeah. Once again, back to not forcing it.
yeah. And believe me, between Heath and I,
Mhm.
we've tried to force everything, you know,
Yeah.
and it just never works out.
When it comes to the visual stuff, like I pretty much have no. I just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, yeah, whatever you guys think is best. Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's rad. Or, nah, but all right, I'll do it.
Yeah. So,
But you probably have it on those. Sorry, yeah, because
Please.
But on those ones where you're like, nah, but let's do it. Do you end up over time being like, actually,
Yeah.
that's cool?
Yeah.
Because I've done that before too.
Like I'm like,
yeah.
I don't understand it right now. I can't even think of an example, but
Or like sometimes I feel like if you're not the main songwriter, you're just like playing guitar on the thing, and you're like, I don't really understand this right now, but give me a couple months to digest this, and it's
Yeah.
gonna mean something to me.
yeah, that's where it comes in
gonna
with
figure out what it means.
Like if everybody, like if the five of us, you know, or six, including Blue, because Blue's been
Right,
a big
he's
part,
helping, yeah.
Yeah.
big part in this process. But
Always
sure.
the
it's just
extra
like,
member of every band.
yeah,
and I'm proud to have him there.
yeah, for real.
Shame.
God damn, we've done some cool stuff so far.
I was actually telling him just the other day. I was like, "Oh man, we keep going off. I'm sorry."
Ah, fuck
Okay.
But
it.
yeah, but fuck
Who
it.
cares?
But,
care.
where I was like, dude, it's so crazy. People that are like so good at creating can be like, "Hey, you want to come and create with me?" here's pay me a little money, and I know we'll make something good.
Yeah.
Like that's how good at creating you are. Like I can charge you money, and I'll help you out, and it's gonna be good.
One thing I love about Blue is, God, I think he knows every chord.
Probably all the weird ones.
No, dude. Like
Yeah.
because there's been some instances where, I don't know, like he plays the thing that was in my head that I didn't know how to do, and I'm like, yeah, that's the shape.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that on the Heath and Blues podcast as well,
Yeah.
where he's like talking about theory and he knows it just to move things quicker along and to be able to do that. Be like, oh, maybe you're thinking this, to make sure things don't get stuck.
Yeah.
But
I really like writing with that guy.
But you're saying, I do too.
Yeah.
But you were talking about like you and Heath arguing over like concepts and then bone dance as well.
First,
and...
no, so I was talking about the argumentation over lyrics, and that actually came from Connor.
Right, because you're saying that you can't say that in a song.
Right, and that first came from Connor. So we stole Connor from another band, not trying to, but we were just like, join us and
Before
play with
the
the other
tour,
band
right,
too.
with Alisana, right?
Way before that.
Oh, it was before. Oh,
this
that's
was
right.
2013.
I was gonna say,
Right
I
before
went
I
back
joined,
through the
too.
Instagram and I remember seeing pictures and like, oh wow, Connor looks young.
Yeah.
But I mean, we all did that, obviously. But
But like Connor and I talk about it all the time. Where we were sitting
about like content of lyrics.
Yeah. We were sitting out on my mother-in-law's front porch.
Back to Salina.
No, this is up in West Jordan.
Okay.
So it was like 2013. I was 19, and I had just written Bone Dance, and Connor goes, "Hey man, I don't think we want to be the band that says I sucked it just to know I didn't like it."
Yeah, he was like, we can't say
And
that.
this is 4 a.m, right? We're drunk.
4 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, so
At my mother-in-law's
so
house.
you had already finished the song, and then
Well, I finished writing the lyrics.
right, and then you guys are just drinking, and then he's finally getting the courage. He's like, I need to tell you.
Yeah,
this.
he's like,
I'm
dude,
not
I'm
comfortable
like,
with this.
he's like, you're not fucking gay. Like, you can't just be like, here's some gay shit.
Oh, so
Right.
he's like worried that
Yeah.
it's gonna come off wrong, right?
And I'm like, well, I have sucked it, and I know I didn't like it. And that's the fucking words, bitch.
Yeah, I mean,
You know.
it's true to
You're being
you.
honest.
So why?
Yeah, this is this is what happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's like it's like you wouldn't be having this conversation. It's like I went to the waterfall. The waterfall sucks. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
You're like you wouldn't have this conversation.
Right.
It's because it's that.
Yeah.
It's the no.
And he was like, do we want to be that? And by the way, too, like we wrote a Bundle of Queers, and which is like,
That's what I was gonna say.
yeah.
That's a
And this is before Heath was like out of the closet and stuff, and it says faggot a lot in that song,
Right.
And
that's the punchline of that song.
I wouldn't call it the punchline. I mean, it's a joke.
Under the voice.
He's like, look, I've done stand-up comedy. That's not the punchline. Of
I'm
course.
just joking.
No,
I'm
it is
joking.
the punchline. But a lot of people would hear that song and be like, "Yo, dude, you can't say that." And it's
Think
like,
the
I can
opposite.
say whatever the fuck I want. I've been exactly where I'm talking about, and so that was the first time, and I think that's the only time.
It's ever come up.
No, people still go like, "What do you mean?" But they never go. They no longer say you can't say that.
Understood.
You know what I mean?
Understood.
Fun fact too. I mean, fun for me. That was probably either the fastest or the second fastest song we ever wrote.
Bone
It was
Dance?
just Bundle of Queers.
Oh, right. It just came like quick
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
We just did it in Dave's basement,
Yep.
and then in the
Yep.
garage you were writing the lyrics, and then it was
Yeah.
we did change it when we did change.
Well, like how long? Like
chorus.
within like an hour, day
like,
frame.
like 2 hours.
2
well,
hours.
I had the main idea of that song before any of the instrumentation came up.
Okay, yeah,
So,
so
when
back
we
to
were
that,
talking
yeah.
to like things that you hold on to,
Mm-hmm.
I remember we were going down to my cousin's bachelor party. We were going down to Vegas, and we were driving like some of the back roads because we had to pick someone up in Parowan.
For those that don't know, Richville is pretty relatively
Right.
close to Vegas. It's,
Yeah. It's like 4 hours.
It's southern
whatever.
Utah, so
Yeah.
it's closer.
So we're driving by and I see all these like cattle fences, you know, and they're just posts with
Yeah, it's just the.
Bless you.
Or is it the cattle fences where it's just the X's and then it's the two posts like that and it's this, or are you talking about cattle fences and it's just the two?
it's just like a post, a piece of wire,
Right.
you know.
yeah, just the bare minimum to
Barbed
keep
wire,
the cows in,
whatever.
yeah, keep people out.
And I was like, literally just as we were listening to Tenacious D and I just like rode by and I was like, faggot. You know?
Yeah,
like,
bundle of sticks.
yeah, because there's just a bunch of posts sitting there right by,
Which is
like,
the
because they were
actual
still
term of it.
making whatever, you know. I was like, that's crazy. And then I was like, okay, so how does that, like, because there's something that visual of like the fence and the fence posts and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna hold on to that, right? And I held on to that for like a year and a half. And then we invited a friend over and he was like, we had woke up after a drunken night and he was playing this video on Facebook. And it was this kid who came out to his family on Thanksgiving. And his dad's sitting there calling him faggot. And just, you know, like, get out of my house or whatever. And
Right, just
our
super
friend's
negative.
gay.
Right.
And he's sitting there crying. And I had never, and it was around the time where Utah first made gay marriage illegal,
Right.
and then stopped. I was just watching my friend who was gay, and he's crying over that. And I was on Facebook myself, and I was, because I grew up in a small town, Utah, Mormon,
Red
you know,
state.
and I'm sitting there listening to all these people talk about this, and then I'm listening to my new friend, like my city friends who are gay, and
The complete
you know,
opposite.
and they're sitting there hating each other, and it's like, you guys are both hating me because I've been both of those things. You know what I mean?
Both groups, yeah.
I'm in both of those sides, and you guys are fighting, and it's like, dude, I'm just on this fence. And like that song for me, like
Suddenly
instrumentally,
it clicked when that.
yeah, it like Tyler said, the instrumentals, that all came together quick.
Yeah, and just a quick note, that the main riff is just a rip off of No More Tears by Ozzy.
Oh yeah.
And I realized that after we were recording it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is No More Tears. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many notes, A
Yeah.
through J. That's the funny thing about music is that you could make it's subjective. So to one person, you sound just like this.
And to
To
be
another
fair,
person, you
you know
sound like
what?
this. Everything sounds like something.
It was the bass riff I ripped off, but
Yeah.
I'm playing it on guitar. Okay?
Who cares? Different
Sue 'em.
song.
Sue 'em. Do it.
I dare you.
I dare you.
I dare you.
See
We
what
got
happens.
nothing.
We're gonna put it on vinyl. That's what it's gonna be on.
Yeah.
Please do. I want them. But yeah,
Like, so yeah, I ruminated over a lot of this, and then all of a sudden it clicked, you know. But then now flash forward to this second EP. Like the first EP, a lot of the lyrics just happened. Some of them didn't. I rewrote a lot of them, and it cost us a lot of money, and it cost us a lot of time. And so then we start this second EP, and there's this line going through my head. Pink hasn't crossed your mind. It's just the way the sun went down, right? And I'm just fucking... And I wrote that as a demo for a project that I wanted to start myself when I was 26. I wrote that line.
so you've been sitting on it for
I've
a
been
second.
sitting on it.
Yeah.
And maybe I was 27.
Was it before or after you hit your head?
It was after.
Yeah.
Which time?
Yeah. So I bought my house when I was
26.
Yeah. So it was when I was 26.
Wait.
Because it was like right after I bought my house.
It was 3 years ago.
Yeah. So I was 26.
26. Okay.
And it's
We're the
just been-
same age.
Yeah.
I'm 30.
I'm
Are you
29.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
29.
We're the same age.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I never really think about age anymore. It
I
doesn't
don't
matter.
either. Dude, I forget my age.
Whoa,
for-
careful there.
Wait, what's my age again?
Yeah.
It doesn't, dude.
I'm
I
like-
mean, Blink-182. Yeah, I did last year. I did keep being like, am I 27, 28?
Mhm.
But yeah, it doesn't matter.
I don't know how old my wife is.
She's 33.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Sorry, I remember things.
You were saying earlier you don't remember dates.
No,
He
I do.
does. He's the one that does. That's his autism.
That's his joke.
He remembers every
Hey,
date.
when's the last time you did a desk pop? July 02.
Yeah, it sucks. It's always, it's always stupid shit too. Like it's never fun stuff.
My guy, thank you.
So,
By the way,
wait,
speaking of dates,
you got any shows coming up?
no,
No.
No.
I joined the band 10 years ago this November.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty. Yeah, dude. Wow, that's
That's
awesome.
nuts.
Time flies, man. I mean, when I looked
I was a
back
little boy.
and I found that the Let Live show was 2015, it's like, wow, that's come by.
Yeah, no, that was like right around the time we released Sheep.
Yeah.
15?
Wait,
No, dude.
wait, Sheep?
No.
No. Let
No,
Live.
Sheep-
that was way before
Sheep was
you
like
guys
2
even
years
got
ago.
signed to Revel.
No, we released that before.
Sheep was at the house. The music video was at the house.
Yeah, with the tub, right?
Yeah.
Not Sheep.
Yeah, we were like,
Bone
that's the
Dance?
most
No.
recent one.
Bone Dance?
No, hold on. Everybody shut up.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
the one in the Metro bathroom.
Oh, Smoke 'em.
Smoke 'em.
That was the first thing you
Smoke
guys
'em.
threw out.
Yeah. That was around the time that we released Smoke 'em.
Yes,
We did.
It was because so I discovered you guys the show, and they're like, oh, they also record with Bucket, like or they
Yeah.
also record at High
We
Vibe.
filmed that. We filmed Smoke 'em and another one in the same day. What was the other one?
Smoke 'em and...
What a way to start it too.
Yeah, it was.
I remember everyone being like,
It was far.
dude,
Parasite.
who is this band?
Parasite,
This is
yeah, 'cause
amazing.
that was. Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. That's something I remember Bucket saying, where he's like, I love working with Charlatan because they're easy. We do whatever we want. Like, if we're inspired by this art, we're going to create it.
Yeah.
There's no boundaries.
No.
Like, can you imagine how many people struggle with that? That's why you
I
guys...
can't imagine how
It's
many people
insane.
struggle with
It's
that. I
insane.
don't get it.
It's insane.
I like...
Just to be able to create what you want to create.
I literally don't understand it.
It's hard for... I guess some people are just... I guess coming back to the Rick Rubin's book, some people struggle with obviously the different things. So if you're listening and you're struggling with something, I would suggest maybe giving it a try, that book, and see if you can find something in there that
it's a
helps
great
you
book.
out. Yeah,
It's a great book.
it's a quick read too. He made sure that there's no fat in it. There's some chapters that are like a page or two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like
everything.
a million chapters
Yeah,
long.
it's like everything that
But
needs
it's
to be.
only-
Yeah. It's like 500 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you
real.
listen to it, it's like 5 hours or whatever. Or if you read it,
Yeah.
relatively quick. But
Yeah, that's I don't know. I feel very fortunate that I have that, and not only that I have that, but I have a band that has that in them, where they go, yeah, we're just gonna
you
do
surrounded
whatever
yourself with
the
people.
shit we want.
Yeah, they're like, let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah,
I think that's a huge part of it too. Is like, if you're gonna collaborate with other people, making sure that everyone's almost on the same page. I mean, obviously you're gonna get over disagreements or whatever else, and get.
Well, I've literally battled with everybody in the band about that.
Well, that's kind of what's fun too. Is I don't think any of us are afraid to say, because we all want to do what we want,
Yeah.
like we were just talking about. But then if there's something that one person doesn't jive with, they're like, I don't know, dude. I don't know about that. Like, convince me, type of thing.
The best thing that ever happened to us was we basically broke up.
Yeah, I was out for a couple of years.
Yeah, I kicked him out because I was being a silly goose.
Me too.
And
I was so
silly
silly.
goose. You
But-
silly Billy.
I've battled with every single member that's ever been in Charlatan about what we should do. And I'm fortunate that my position has always been, we should do it because we want to. That's a
Priority number one.
That's a winning argument, and everybody's been like, well, what about this? I'm like, do we want to do it? And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool, but I'm like, okay, you just lost with but. And it's not like I'm right, I'm right about music. No, it's fucking, I'm a small town kid. I'm a fucking son of a coal miner. we had something that we thought we wanted. We fucking lost our ass. We fucking fucked ourselves 10 times over with everything we've ever tried to do. The only thing that's ever worked, literally for any artist ever, is you did what you wanted to do. How can you lose with that argument?
You can't. You can't.
And like, here we are. It's like, yeah, we're 30. No one knows about us except for the one person that has my face tattooed on them, right? And you know what? The only reason they have my face tattooed on them is because of TikTok. It's not even because of the band. All right?
Interesting. Oh.
And
but
so,
I thought it said Charlatan under
it does.
with the banana.
But they found me because of TikTok,
because of
not because of
TikTok.
my fucking music.
yeah,
and-
but if they, I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for them, but if they like your music,
Dude, I mean, we released.
It doesn't matter how they find
kill
it.
thing, the kill thing, like 2 weeks before she got that tattoo.
oh, okay.
Like,
What
kill wasn't in her mind,
what kill thing?
right? Like the knife. Like Heath released that artwork. We did
For the shirt.
for the shirt.
Okay.
And
Yeah, because it's got the knife on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I got it on my
And then
leg.
they
Ray tatted it on me.
that wasn't in her mind, but it was like fresh, and it was like, I don't know. I even think that that's a testament to what I'm talking about. Is I've been me
the entire time. Yeah.
the entire fucking time, and when I wasn't, that's when everything sucked. It's when everything has sucked ever, is when I wasn't me.
You know what's awesome?
Wow. Yeah.
What's fucking awesome is I wanted to say this earlier. Just the lineup we have now.
Oh,
That's
Jesus Christ, man!
yeah. It takes
like
it takes time.
Our band, dude. The
How many
people in
fucking
it-
people did we go
It's
through?
cohesive.
How many people?
I mean,
How
not
many
every
bass
band, but the
players?
majority of bands have to go through their growing pains to get the right.
So we got Connor back. You know, me and Connor grew up together.
They were in a band before I met either of them.
back
What was
in high
that band
school.
called?
I don't remember.
That's a good name.
I think one was.
That's a good name.
One of them was.
One
my,
word or two.
one of them was My Own Way,
Three?
dude.
That's the one I remember.
Yeah, dude, My Own Way. So cool. Yeah, that was fucking.
Anyway.
16 years old.
So yeah, you and Connor.
Yeah, that's kind of how I came in the band too. Is after Connor joined 10 years ago. He's like, dude, it was after
Austin
I saw.
just left.
Yeah. I saw you guys play November 2nd, 2013.
As we
And I
released
joined-
Something You'll Regret.
yeah. And I joined 10
The
days
night we
later.
released that.
10 days later, dude. November 12th, 20. Freaking 13.
Let me think. So it started with me, Heath, and a kid named Matt Brown, just jamming in a basement. I used to hate Heath, by the way. So it was me, Heath, Matt Brown. Matt Brown quit our second practice ever.
Right. Yeah. Because you guys are still in school. Like
This
that's
is
it's
this
fickle.
is before we had
Fickle.
a band name.
Yeah.
Anything. Then we were
What? So-
Prasdactazine.
Was this
That's
like
amazing.
2008?
Huh?
Was this like 08?
I was a sophomore. I was 15. That was 14 years ago.
That was
yeah,
way
It's
like
crazy that you
2008,
guys are still
2009.
together, dude.
That's when me and Connor started playing together
Yeah.
too.
So, me, Matt Brown left. Then it was me, Jansen McKinley. He stayed for one practice and was like, I'm out. Then it was me, Heath, Rory Bumgardner. Rory died. Then it was me, Heath, Jaylee Tudor. And she stayed with us for a while. And then when it was me, Heath, and Jaylee, then we had Trace Beckman. And he was in between drums and guitar. And then, like, when we were trying to figure it out, he's like, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in. And then we're like, you're out, dude. So then for a show, we had this kid named Stefan. I don't remember his last name, but he
Something
played
Russian?
with us our first show. Our first show was me, Heath, Jaylee, Stefan. And it was fun. It was really cool.
Where
and
was
we
that
sucked.
first? Where's the first show?
It was Club Sound.
Wow.
Was
Yeah.
that the?
Okay.
It was a battle of the bands.
That's right.
Okay.
I was 16.
One of your bands did one of those too. Was it one of those ones where it was like a ton of bands?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you play that?
Guerrilla music.
Yeah, it was like a Wicked Winterfest. Or
Yeah,
something.
yep.
Yep. You
Yeah,
told that.
exactly.
Yeah. You guys played
Well,
that.
Yeah.
what was it at that thing that kid was like, "Yo, dude, how do you scream?" Or what is he? What did
Yeah,
he say?
he goes-
Like, how do you scream, bro?
He's like, "What kind
What's
of
your
music are you?" I was
scream
like, "I don't know. We're kind of like rock and roll, metal,
You
punk
got
rock.
Charlatan is their own thing. Everyone has
Yeah.
always said that. Like Blue, anyone's
Yeah.
like, dude, that band
We're scrap
is
metal.
their own thing.
Or scrap metal. We
Coined it.
invented it. He coined it.
Take
Yeah,
credit.
this kid came up. He's like, "What are you?" And I told him, I was like, "We're this." And he's like, "Let me hear your Vokes."
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah. Let me hear your Vokes. And I'm like,
Do the roar.
yeah, exactly.
Do the roar.
And he was a cool kid. He really was a cool kid.
I remember my Marcus
your
Gressman that was
Vokes,
in I
dude.
Capture Castle. I remember him getting that a lot at shows, and I know kids just punishing him.
We
Like,
either-
you gotta teach me how to scream. Tell me right now.
Yeah.
Do it. And it's
We
just like,
either
I
played with I
can't,
Captured
man.
Castle the first or the second show we ever played.
What
by
was
the way.
that? So what was this? That was the.
It was the same thing. It was a guerrilla music battle of the bands.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it 100%.
I want to say it was
yeah.
February 11th, 2000.
Okay, me.
Nine.
Just chill out.
Yeah, because I didn't join until
Yeah.
like 2000, the end of probably 2012.
2010.
Because I did it like
Yeah.
right before I graduated.
Yeah.
And they were already.
You don't know dates, dude. You don't know.
I don't.
dates.
But I tried to
But you doesn't
remember
need
that
to
one.
because you do.
Yeah, quit trying to be me, dude.
So it was Stefan, and then
It seems like a revolving door for everybody but you and Heath
Dude,
for,
there's so
for
many.
a while.
There's so many, and I'm gonna go through the shorter version of this. Then it was.
Please.
I'm sorry. It was.
We need to
but
document it.
I also want people to like know these names
Right.
of like how we got here.
Yeah,
Right.
There's
Because
a
they
reason you're
literally
saying
helped
it.
us get there.
There's a reason we're
Yeah.
saying it. And you're also listening to the Charlatan episode, so suck
Right.
it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Suck it.
Suck it. That's what you should name this.
Actually, the podcast is called You Guys Suck.
That
You
perfect.
got
Perfect.
And,
Bundle of socks.
then we got my brother-in-law Austin Weeks. He was on guitar.
Was
And
that
then-
weird having a family member?
No, I
No,
invited him.
not him,
Okay.
dude. He's
I was like,
fucking
dude,
awesome.
Cool.
Come.
Yeah, because obviously sometimes it's
Then we had
Not
this
good.
kid named Doug Dong.
DONG.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. It was tight.
Doug.
And he was a cool kid.
Dougie.
He was a cool kid, but
On guitar or
drums.
drums?
He was on drums. So that at that point it was me, Heath, Austin,
I can't
Jay Lee,
believe
Doug.
how many people have been in this band though, because
Right.
like Richfield is the smallest town.
Well, by the time we got Austin Weeks
You're up in
and
Salt
Doug,
Lake.
we're in West Jordan.
Okay,
Because
much easier.
I moved to West Jordan the day after I graduated high school when I was 17.
Right, because fuck that.
Yeah.
yeah, get out of there.
Oh, was Doug on the Something You'll Regret album?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
that was
Yeah.
Doug.
Interesting.
He
Okay.
was.
And that's not anywhere, by the way.
He
It's-
was.
yeah.
And then that whole demo really sucked. And we met
Most
Connor.
first
Oh,
bands
there's-
are, yeah.
Connor Christensen, our drummer now.
Yeah.
And we were at the studio. I was like, let's record this, re-record this shit.
Which studio?
Adam.
Yeah, his name was Adam.
I don't remember it.
I forget what he called it.
It was in Salt Lake though.
Yeah, and then we ended up being like partners, quote unquote, with him for a while.
Meaning like he wasn't in the band, he was just like a hired gun.
Well, we were paying for the studio as he was like having
the
bands in
studio.
and stuff.
Okay.
Like a rent thing.
yeah.
Like we were paying rent to also
So-
use it.
Connor
And then
came
helping
in.
like recommend bands.
Yeah.
Okay. So Connor comes into the mix.
Connor came in, and then we kicked out. This is right after, like we re-recorded the demo, and then right after that came out, we kicked Jay Lee out.
How many songs?
10.
Yeah, 10.
Oh, that's not a demo.
It's,
That's an album.
no, it was.
Well, you guys had
It
a.
might be demo
demo.
quality. It's
It's a
still an
demo.
album.
you guys had a. The first one wasn't that much, wasn't
I'll tell you what, Parasite was on that demo.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How much did it change from the demo to the final version that it is now?
I would say
quite a bit.
50-50.
it? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So lyrics. Or
Okay,
just
so
music.
lyrics 50-50.
Okay.
Music changed probably like 90-10.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Melodies same. Just change the lyrics.
You know what was really cool? Because that was kind
That's
of
probably like 80-20.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
So you're like,
Yeah.
no, I know there's something to this. It's just
Yeah.
not quite there. Let's
Right.
reshape it.
One-
And you
one-
did. So you reshaped Parasite then 3 times.
yeah. Like when
yeah.
Wow.
like one of the really cool what made that song cool for me was after we recorded it and showed it to Austin, the old guitar player, because Austin quit and then I joined.
Not Heath.
Austin Weeks.
Austin Weeks, yeah, his brother-in-law.
So re-recorded
fucking
it.
good dude. We went to Mesquite with him
He's
last
the best.
weekend. Yeah, he's
the
awesome.
best. I love him.
But
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But like, what was important to me after that was hearing him be like, "Dude, I love what you did," because that was like his song, I think.
Oh,
And he's like,
and
"Dude,
yeah,
I
he
love,
wrote- he
I
wrote
love
it."
what you did to that song," and I was like, "Yes, hell yes,
Yeah.
hell yes."
Yeah, that's
awesome.
like, and the biggest compliment you could
Yeah.
give, because
So
you're like,
Par-
you took my baby and made it better.
Right.
Yeah.
Parasite, when we won that Guerrilla Music thing or whatever, we got a manager for a year, and
That was the prize.
that was part of it.
interesting.
And we
How did that work out?
It's well. Have you heard of him? Have you heard of us? You know.
I have. Yes, I have.
So
You, not them. Not him.
he, like, that was the song that we showed him. That it's like, this is our song, you know. And
Was Parasite.
Yeah, Parasite, the first version.
Which is a great version, by the way.
No, it's
Like that's the one that I auditioned for the band with.
yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, I can do a little couple things with this song. to
You
make
ever
it
do a
kinda
couple
cool."
little
Yeah.
things?
Yeah.
You ever change
ever
grab
write
the
a song?
guitar and do a couple things?
Yeah, I write a song that you can never die.
You ever write 3 times? You ever take a song 3 times and make a parasite?
Also, by the way, so we recorded Parasite. Okay, no, I gotta go back. I'm sorry. I don't know why this is the chrono. I just needed to say. I need to say these names out loud so that people. Just
give
so that
credit where credit's due.
I want to give credit to the people that like
Right, because
got me here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
We kicked Jaylee out shortly after.
Why,
Austin
why
Weeks
did you kick her out? Sorry.
because she was younger than us.
Also, she's still a good friend too.
Yeah,
Like,
she is.
still-
She's a really great
Yeah.
friend of mine.
It just wasn't clicking.
Well, just not musically. She was
Going different directions.
she was like 18, and then we're like 19, 20, and like she just barely turned 18, and she just
Was she
was
singing?
having her own.
I'm sorry.
She was playing bass. She
And
was bass
singing
player.
as well, or just bass?
Just bass.
Okay.
She did actually. We tried to record a song where she sang on that demo, and there was a lot of like. She was young, and she didn't know how to make money. She didn't know how to like contribute. It was a lot of. It was a lot of. She's a brand new adult woman, and we're brand new adult men,
Right.
and we had these things that were in our mind that this is what we have to do, and she's like, I don't even know. Like I gave up everything to be here, and now I'm trying to also keep everything that I have, and it was just like we were young fucking idiots, you know.
dumbass.
And her and myself and Heath included, you know, we were just young kids. And then, so we kicked her out. We wanted Connor, so we kicked Doug out. And then, no, so we kicked Doug out. We brought in Connor. Then her and Connor had a little going back and forth. We kicked Jaylee out. And then Austin Weeks, my brother-in-law, he decided to quit. And so we had Connor, me, and Heath. Then Connor said, let's bring in my buddy Tyler.
Yeah, because you guys had grown
Word
up.
up.
Yeah.
Bird up. And then
And that stayed the lineup for a while, right?
for a minute. And then we didn't know what to do with the bass player.
Dude, we never. So
we
just to
brought
cut
in
to the end, we never had a bass player until Paulie. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
So you guys would just jam it without.
Between Jaylee and Paulie, we never had
Yeah.
like a bass player.
it was
How
always,
many gigs
it was
did you
always
gig without
fill-ins.
bass?
Uh,
Oh, you
we
mean
al-
just
yeah,
okay?
we
people
always
just
had
filled in,
fill-ins.
right? Okay.
So these are the bass players off the top of my head that I can say that we played with.
You got 30 seconds.
Sean
Go.
Donahue,
Andrew.
that one kid
I
from
should've done
fucking
the
Hero
title.
that I don't know.
Tyler Colburn,
Tyler Colburn. No, not him. That's not who I was thinking of.
but that's another one.
Then Alex.
Yeah, he went tour with us.
Penny pasta.
Inside baseball.
And
love
then
it. Hope to be part of one.
another kid that I really don't know. And then we auditioned this other kid that I don't know.
There's another kid that I taught the whole set,
Yeah.
like in the green room before the show. It
10
was
minutes before.
Insane.
Then,
Well, that's just bass.
and then we,
I know. And
then
a lot of
for
them were
drummers.
a lot of them were guitar players that were just playing bass,
Right.
so they weren't real bassists.
Which is like a lot of bass players,
Yeah.
how they start out.
That's another compliment I want to give to Paulie.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it, Paulie he's the best bass player I've ever met.
Yeah.
It's
I've
nuts.
ever played with,
Yeah.
for sure. Sorry.
Drummers. Go. 30 seconds.
Then we play with Derek
Drummers,
Christensen, which saved our ass a
Yeah,
lot.
he
Not-
played on the tour. I remember that, right?
He didn't play on tour, but
His
he
last
played with
name's-
us for so many.
His last name's Schroeder.
I know. I just said
I know.
Christensen.
Well, I
I'm
thought
an
Derek
idiot.
was
Derek
I thought,
Schroeder.
with the beard, right? Derek?
Yeah.
I thought
He
he
didn't-
played the tour where you guys were with Alessandro.
I
No.
wish he could
Who
go.
played? Oh, he couldn't go.
Seb.
Seb.
Sebastian.
Sebastian.
Oh, he must have done Dude Fest.
He did
Bro
do
Fest.
Dude Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Divisions show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So Derek
Because I
saved
remember
our
this.
ass
He
a lot
played
of
in
times.
Consumed by Silence.
Dethrone the Sovereign.
Dethrone the
the
Sovereign.
Sovereign.
That's what
Yep.
it was. Yeah, my bad.
So
Consumed by
then-
Silence was Steve from Chelsea.
Speaking
That's
of
right.
Dethrone, then we had Jake Lasco on keyboards
Yes,
with us
I do remember that.
through tour.
I do remember that.
and
yes.
until recently, in the middle of this first EP, and then did I miss anybody on bass? Then
Probably,
when I
but-
kicked Tyler out, we only had Heath, and that was for like a show, and then we brought Tyler back, and then
And that was like a
Connor joined,
2-year
and then
period.
we had Paulie. And if I'm missing anybody, I sincerely apologize. But I think Alan from Dethrone
Oh, yeah.
also played bass with us a couple times.
Yeah,
Dude,
he's a
Alan
good dude.
fucking rocks.
What was
Alan's
his
he's a good
Becoming
bass
Everest
player.
as well, right?
I think that he did play in that.
Or maybe it was
I think he
different
did.
band, with different band.
No,
name?
he played with Dethrone, but I do think that he played with that. I may be
I
wrong.
thought it was maybe called something else as well because Garrett Garfield also
Right.
did a song with him. I can't remember what their band name was. Something Tides.
I don't know.
Is it the same
I
one that
apologize,
Chris
man. I apologize.
is
Alan.
in? I don't know.
But I
This
know
is-
he had another band as well. He had two bands. That dude, I remember in Downtown Music, he blew
Alan?
my mind. Yeah, with the bass player.
Yeah,
With
Alan.
it, yeah.
Alan,
As he was wheeling out his bass cab, he had the longboard trucks
Yeah.
attached to the bottom.
Yeah.
And we were all like, why
Yeah.
did we think of that?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a genius. Genius, dude.
Dude, I love
'Cause it's a
all
fridge,
those
you know, in
Dethrone
the
dudes.
fridge.
Yeah,
So that's all of the members that you can think of that have.
off the top of my
Off the top
head,
of
and
your
I'm
head.
Off the dome.
probably missing somebody. We mentioned Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Andrew was
whatever.
the best. I mean, sorry everybody else. He was the best guitar player that was playing bass.
Yeah, no, he
Like who
was-
could
yeah.
he switched it up? You know, he
He was a shredder that just played bass with
Yeah.
us.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
But
I
he could-
remember.
but he
He's
could
probably
play-
the smartest member that ever joined the band because he didn't sign the stupid fucking record contract that we did, and he could have.
I don't even
Do you want to
talk about?
I was gonna
that.
say you don't want to talk about that.
No, we
probably-
can. I'm just
We
joking.
can
Because I know on Band Buds, I can't remember what the number
wish
is.
they
but
were
we
still
both-
doing that,
Check
by
out
the
both
way.
of our episodes, Band Buds. Yeah, we were gonna talk about that. That it's like okay to talk about all the things. You're not like you didn't sign like a non-disclosure or anything like that.
No.
You can talk about it.
And
Because that's like
Yeah.
one of those things that a lot of people have in their head about the same thing we were talking about earlier, where it's like, oh, they're on a record label. Oh, like this must be amazing. It's like, no, they got a really shitty loan from a shitty bank and they're getting taken advantage of.
that
They
was the
don't know-
downfall.
Yeah,
of
that's
us.
the downfall of it. Yeah.
That
For a
was
lot of
the-
bands, they break up. They, you know what I mean? They don't go off after that because you
Well,
get screwed over.
That
Or at
was
least
the
you guys in your
downfall,
sense, yeah.
and that was the best thing that ever happened to us.
Like a reality check.
Yeah, because I immediately fell into my own bullshit. I bought into my own fucking hype. That's the worst thing you can ever do
Like
as
an
a fucking
inflated
musician.
ego in the sense of.
Yeah, because I had all these people. I had even my band members who were sitting there like talking me up, you know, and I'm sitting there doing interviews and I'm just being me. But like people like, you're fucking rad. And I'm like, yeah, I've been telling the world this my whole fucking life.
Right. You're finally
know?
validated for what you're doing being
Right.
you.
And I've got family that's sitting there like, yeah, Gray's doing this. You know,
It feels good.
it did.
It's validating
Dude, I remember
until it doesn't.
I went and got a phone with my dad so I could go on tour because like I needed a new phone. My phone was shit, right? And
This is before the big run with Alisana.
this is right before, like immediately before. And my dad's sitting there like, yeah, no, he's got to get this phone so that he can go on this tour.
Bragging
yeah.
to the sales
Yeah,
associate. Or
and
whatever.
we're in fucking Richfield, and I'm just like, yeah, this town will know my name. You know, I'm not just gonna be a coal miner's son. I'm not just gonna fucking give up everything, and come back here because that's where the money's at. You know, that's what Severe County Killer was about, actually.
So it's not based off a true story.
It is.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's what I thought it was. I
Yeah,
was like, I thought
it-
there was an actual.
A quick
Well,
little
it's
thing.
not-
That's like that in Bundle of Queers. That's what I was saying. It was like maybe first or second fastest written song.
Yeah.
That's it.
Severe County Killer is a true story in the sense that there's a lot of true stories in it. There's no.
Oh, it's bundled
there's no
up, okay.
real like
Through
Severe
line.
County Killer.
Right, it's not like an actual.
But the Severe County Killer is the coal mine, just as like in it, the waterways
Yeah.
are the
Okay.
killer.
There was salt, the salt mine too, right?
Yeah, they got a salt mine too.
Yeah, there's like all. That's what everybody that. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it's different now because they have bigger Home Depots and whatever else. But for the longest time, like when I lived there and everything, if you were there, is because of the mines
Yeah.
or like. I guess my
Well-
dad worked for the power company, but like you know what I mean. There was a
Yeah.
power plant there. You know,
Right. Yeah, no, that's
it's like
That's
what
the
you
Severe
think
County
of like
Killer
like
is-
50s like Manifest Destiny, like working for a company, kind of
Right.
like blue collar
yeah. It's
town.
people try to get away, and then the family and the money brings them back, and then they die there. That's Severe County Killer. It's the coal mine, right? To me, that's what I wrote it
Right.
about. And then I read it, and I was like, oh, I didn't need to write the song. It was already a book.
Dude, that book, by the way, I listened to the audiobook. I don't fucking read. I'm not that smart.
Yeah,
It's okay.
true.
No, I mean it's to each their own. Some people don't like records, but that's fine. Like you need to listen to music while you're
Dude,
working.
that
I
book
like the respect and
It's so
the
scary.
reverence of sitting down and listening
That's
to it.
such a scary book. I don't know if you have you read it or listened to
I
it?
have not.
Didn't you say that's like the only book that's ever like scared you?
It was the first book
you're-
that scared me.
Yeah, because you're
It was-
he's a big Stephen King guy.
Really?
I think you've read
I
like
got a
every
fun story
single
for
one
ya.
of his books.
Please.
But yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Fun little story. Jerry Cortez, who's in a band called Tower Power, 70s funk band. He's been on this, Tower of Power.
Tower Power. Yeah.
Yep, they've
Yeah.
been on.
I thought you said Tower Power.
No, he's a good friend of
Wait,
ours.
what
He
is that?
played on one of our new tracks. We haven't
Serious?
released. Yeah.
Nice.
Play
Dude,
guitar.
Connor's gonna come his pants.
Yeah, dude. I think when we announced, we probably played one of the songs with Saint Raven or whatever. And he was
Sick.
like, "Dude, that's awesome." But anyways, I can't remember where Steven lives, but they were in that same town, and he was trying to get into they're at the hotel, and there's a huge wait, and he's like, "I don't want to wait this like long," so we text his tour manager like, "Hey, can we like speed this process up? I'm really tired," whatever else. So he's up at the front. He texts his tour manager, and then the guy gives him back a number. Like, yeah, just talk to this guy here, Steven, and he'll take care of you. His tour manager copied the wrong Steven's phone number. So he texts him like, "Hey man, I'm just trying to get in my room or whatever," and it was Stephen King.
No shit.
And Stephen King responds
In
back.
Maine?
Yeah, Maine. Yeah. So he responds back like, I can't even. Here, I'll pull it up so you can just read the story. Because if you're such a
Dude,
fan,
that's
he
nuts.
posted the story on his Facebook. But yeah, needless to say, he ended up like having a funny little exchange, and Steven came to the show. They met him and
No
hung out.
shit.
Yeah.
Dude,
Holy
and
shit.
Stephen King's such a fucking rocker that he would have fucking loved that anyways.
Dude, it was it reading it was just such a fun story. I think he told his wife, and then his wife posted the story or whatever else. But
Are we
it
allowed
was
to
just
give
such
shout outs?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, shout out Stephen King, dude.
I don't know
No.
how far I'm back. I'm gonna have to go.
While you're looking that up,
Yeah, cool.
I will give a real shout
He'll
out.
appreciate it.
I'll give a shout out to. Do you guys
Yeah,
care
look
if
'em
I
up.
plug another podcast
No,
on here?
of course. No.
So Ian Hates, I think it's now like Ian Scene. But we got in touch. That was my first like podcast beyond ours that I was on.
Before Native Tongue. Or sorry, Talking in Tongues.
Talking in Tongues. Yes.
Chill.
But we always thought that was funny. Like, oh, Native Tongue. come on, play with us.
yeah. So we got in touch because like Heath did like a Google whatever, like searched our band, you know, right after tour.
Nerd.
And this kid, Ian, he had done a podcast about our new album, and he's like, these guys are fucking rad.
Oh, so just listen to it and he reviews albums?
Yeah. And he was kind of in tight with the record label we were on, and I think that's how he heard of us. But he gave like the best fucking review of Remarkable that I'd ever heard. And
Just because you could tell he like actually listened to it, cared. About it. Right.
He was sitting there reciting lyrics and like, listen to this.
Right. It's
How
not
crazy
just like
is this?
it's not just he was doing it for the love of it because
Yeah,
he loved it.
'cause
He
he
wasn't doing
loved
it because
music.
he's already just trying to fuel a machine.
Exactly.
He's in Chicago, yeah.
He's in Texas now.
I mean, I
really?
just to touch upon that, I feel like for a second, because we had the space and the money's
Mm-hmm.
involved, I got into that for a second, a couple months back, where it's like, am I talking to this person because I want to and I actually like their music? You know what I mean? What's
Mm-hmm. Yep.
the point? It's a waste of
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Like, your art's cool, but I don't. It's not for me.
For
So
sure.
why would I waste my time?
And you know what? Okay, hold on. Let me go back to my shout out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
yeah,
Sorry.
you're allowed to do. I already asked.
he did that podcast and I listened to it and I emailed him and I was like, hey dude, I really fucking appreciate this. Like, you're a badass. Thank you. Right.
Right.
And he emailed me back and he's like, hey man, I really dig your shit. Like that's fucking cool. But he ended his email with long days and pleasant nights, which is the Dark Tower series.
It's a nerd.
It's a big long fucking Stephen King series, and it's
So
fucking,
very specific.
It's like his truest fans know what I'm talking about, right?
So you
And
instantly
I
knew he
emailed
was a
him
true
back. I was like,
motherfucker, yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, I love you, dude, and may you have twice the number. And then we fucking just like connected like that, and it's like, bam, we're on, we're on,
Dude, I feel
you know?
like you meet the like. I don't know how to explain it other than like certain things come in when they need to come in.
Oh,
You
yeah.
meet certain
Yeah.
people when you need them.
Yeah.
This conversation I was thinking about when I was just going and we took a little break to feed my dogs. I don't think I would have been prepared for this conversation a couple months ago
Why?
because like I was telling you, I wasn't being honest with myself, having the
okay,
money aspect,
okay.
having things like that, being
Yeah.
able because I know you're a true motherfucker, man. I don't want to come in here and be
No.
like, you know what I mean? Well, in the sense of like, I don't want to be coming in here. I don't think I would be in the same spot to have the same conversation we're having now. It could have been a different
Right.
conversation. Could have been still great.
yeah.
Still been good.
For
but
sure.
it wouldn't have been as honest.
I get what you're
If you know what I
saying.
mean?
I get what you're saying completely. And since I'm the only one talking, I'll just say this too.
That's okay.
By the way, shout out Ian. Ian Scene, Ian Hates. I don't know what it's called anymore.
I want to shout him out too. I've never talked to that dude.
Okay.
I always have wanted to. Like he really is so fucking cool. I've listened to all
Yeah.
your shit with him, and
And he talks to some fucking cool people too.
Yeah.
And he's another person who just like he doesn't talk to people that he doesn't give a fuck
Right.
about. Right.
Yeah.
Like he talks to the bands that he likes, and then like there's even bands where he's like, I think I like you, and he'll release it and he'll be like, I didn't like that band, and
It's just
but
honest.
but I
But I respect
released
what
it.
they're doing.
Yeah, and it's like, and he's a purist. Don't get me wrong, especially when it comes to like the metalcore metal scene. Like he's a
Okay.
purist.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But
Understood.
but still, like he's straight up. He's like, hey man, you guys are cool. Oh, you're shitting me. That is so cool.
So the whole band.
we're looking
Yeah.
at the picture. Of
Oh, we
Stephen
can
The
King.
put it-
Tower
yeah,
of
we'll put it
Power
there.
with Stephen King.
Yeah, if you click off the picture, you can read whatever the post is because it's a whole fun
man.
story.
So that's your buddy next to him.
Jerry Cortez, yeah,
Jerry
yeah,
Cortez.
and he is
Yeah.
the coolest, nicest motherfucker,
I'm sure.
dude.
I'm
like,
sure their
played-
music is great.
Well, he also, well, he's not. It's like not. He joined them later, so it's not like he was really.
Well,
with them.
if he was able to join them, he's great.
Dude, he played with the dudes from Grateful Dead.
Yeah. No.
In the '80s, he was in a
Yeah.
band called Go Ahead with the dudes from Grateful Dead.
You have to be
like
great.
Jerry Cortez, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. So, Jerry apparently texted, "Boy, do I have a story for you." This is his wife that made this post, not Jerry.
Okay.
And he said he and this other guy were waiting at the check-in line at the Foxwood in Connecticut with about 30 people in front of them. He texted their road manager to see if he could expedite things. And then their manager sent back a phone number and said to contact the events manager. And then so he called the number and got a message. It says, "Hi, you've reached Steven." He called the dude back and was like, "Hey, I don't think I left a message for the guy, but like I didn't get an answer." So after some thought, he said the manager responded back, "Oh my God, I gave you Stephen King's phone number by accident." So he called Stephen King and apologized for giving out his number. And then the manager said, "Ask him." He said, "This was Mr. King's response to my apology that he said that he gave him the wrong number." He said, "No problem. Ask him if he can play an F sharp because I can't." And then 2 hours later, he got a call. Jerry Cortez got a call and it says, "Hi, Jerry. This is Stephen King. Did you get checked into your room?" They had a conversation that like he said it was like they were old friends.
Yeah.
And Jerry told him that he would be happy to show him how to play an F sharp. And then he showed up to the gig and hung out with them in the green room and everything. Yeah.
That's
that
so
was
sick.
August 4th, 2022.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
That's
And then
awesome.
I think this was the same tour where they did some dates or they were opening for the Beach Boys.
Nice.
So yeah,
Dang.
it's like you would never, if you met the guy too, he's just the
Right.
nicest, just such a good dude. Just you would never think like, oh, this guy rips gigs
Right.
every night in front of thousands of people. You would never think that because he's just the nicest, down to earth guy.
That's sick.
That's awesome.
It just So
Dude,
little fun story.
you just reminded me something. All concerning this. If you like Rick Rubin's book,
Yeah.
you should read or listen or whatever to Stephen King's book called On Writing.
On writing.
On Writing. It's about his process.
Oh, so he just talks about his creative process.
Where he just gets drunk and fucking.
It's
Is that what it
Wait,
is?
so
For
it's
me?
not a book?
it's a book. It's a book.
Does a lot of drugs.
You're making jokes.
Yeah, he's joshing.
No, I think he does that. Or he did.
he
does
did
it-
that,
his
and he
process
talks
includes
about
that.
doing that.
Yeah. I am goofing.
Yeah,
but he did
you
that.
mentioned Elko Novato earlier too. There's like a place a little bit further, I think, called Erie that my
Yeah.
other band has played in, and there's a hotel that's haunted there that we stayed at that
Tight.
he stayed at to write one of the books. I can't remember what it
Uh-huh.
was, but yeah, like there's one room that's so haunted they don't they don't rent
I think
it
that's
out.
when he wrote. I think he talks about that.
He doesn't
it's when he was an
remember writing Cujo.
alcoholic. Or I said I don't even know what the fuck I said, but it was it was when he was an
My bad.
alcoholic, and he was on pills, and yeah, I think it was when he. It was either when he wrote Cujo or when he wrote.
I'm pretty sure it was Cujo.
What's the other one? The Shining.
Oh,
Because he talks about.
it might have been that because I remember the lead singer of my band is also at that time was obsessed with Stephen King.
Yeah.
So he's also like, I can't believe this is where he wrote
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So it might have been The Shining.
Because when
I don't
when he
know.
when
Well,
he
I
was,
just know he doesn't remember writing Cujo.
Right.
Like that's the lore.
I think that
Oh, I have no idea then.
I don't know.
when
Who
he
cares,
talks
dude?
about writing The
Don't
Shining,
listen
he
to
talks
me.
about when he was like an alcoholic writer trying to make things work, and that's a lot of what The Shining is about.
Are you also a fan of Fear and Loathing then?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank. Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah.
You're a Hunter S. Thompson fan as well?
not a super fan like most people are, but that's because like I tried to read like on the campaign trail and like the Hell's Angels book, and it's like the Gonzo journalism shit is like just
Just doesn't do
so
it for you.
of a time. It's like of a specific
Oh.
time.
So you would say it's like kind of like comedy, because obviously after a while, after 10 years, 20 years of comedy, the comedy special isn't the same relevance as it is now.
I would
Kinda
say
like that.
of some comedy, but like
Yeah,
like
some
you
comedy,
can listen
obviously.
to Red Fox and anybody can laugh.
Right. I guess I'm
And if
responding to
you're
like
not-
topical.
Right. Yeah. If you, but even then, you know, like you can listen to a Jerry Seinfeld album and you can laugh. Right. And he's very topical. He's an observant.
But I would
or
argue
comedian.
that's still relevant though, because you go back like to comedians from the 30s. No one listens to comedians from the 30s.
Yeah, but like
I guess like Buster Keaton. Are people still digesting that as much as they were back when it was
No,
relevant?
I
So-
mean, but were they? I mean,
Well,
I
we're
get
going
what
down
you're
the
saying. I
rabbit
get what
hole.
you're saying.
Classic Jack.
I get what you're
shout out.
saying. Yeah, Classic Jack. Actually, we should give a shout out to Classic Jack because fucking whatever you guys. I remember listening to the episode with Classic Jack.
Oh
and-
yeah, that was the
and-
first one at the studio.
And Cole said something I can't even
It's okay.
remember.
Yeah, kind of
but
remember like.
I just remember being like that right there was a very special moment for me.
interesting.
Like specifically like what Cole said something about our band which was like I don't even want to try to repeat it because it'll sound like I'm inflating my own shit.
Or water it down.
Right.
To what
yeah,
he said.
even that.
Mhm.
And like but all I know is you guys both said some fucking like really nice things about Charlatan that I was like, hey man, if those people who I respect, like actually respect, are like saying this about me, like that's cool. Like that's
all you
that's
need.
the only kind of like validation I need. Like when it comes to music, there's a lot of people who are like, why are you doing this, not this? It's like, listen, bitch. You don't even fucking
Yeah.
you don't even know how to listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know how to fucking hear music the way I can hear music. And I'm not even the fucking best musician in the band, right? I write words.
I'd
and
argue
sometimes
that
write
you're an
melodies.
artist.
Yeah, I am an artist.
Yeah.
I believe that, right? But
Right, because
when
it's
it
like
comes
being
to
like,
music,
like being a monk. Either you're a monk or you're not.
right?
Either you're acting as that as it.
But
So
when it comes to music, I'm not even a musician. But I know that I know how to listen to music and that you fucking don't. So don't come at me, right? You know,
Yeah,
I don't want to hear your opinion on what I'm doing because I don't fucking care.
Right.
You're literally you're a person trying to describe something like, dude, have you had this steak? It's like, dude, I've been fucking cooking steak because that's the only thing that I can live off of. You know, it's because I raised cows, I butchered them, I fucking cast. Let's bring it actually to a fucking real statement. It's like, you know what? You like bacon? Oh, that's cool. I raised pigs. I sat there in the pig shit. I sat there and got in the pig shit and fucking cut off their balls. Do you know how to castrate a pig? Because I do. You fucking you put them on their fucking back. You sit on their belly. You fucking push their legs down. And the other person takes a fucking razor blade, which cannot be a fucking brand new razor blade or it'll kill them. You got to run it through wood to get the fucking shavings off. Then you fucking peel the fucking one skin off the testicle. And then you get to the sack, the real sack. And you go very lightly because it will puncture the testicle. Then once that pops out, you come through, you cut the vas deferens, and then you have to fray the fucking veins because if you don't, they will bleed out. And then you got to do that another time to the other testicle, right? And I can do that in fucking 30 seconds flat. And you like bacon? Let me tell you about fresh side, bitch.
I think what you're trying to say.
You ever been so hungry you castrate a pig?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I think one of the
So don't tell me about fucking music.
I think one of the big things
You know
you're
what I
saying
mean?
is like just you can say why. Like if
Yeah.
somebody asks you something, anything, you already asked yourself why and you already answered it.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I can tell you why I like bacon.
Well, and not only that, you can tell me that you like music.
Yeah.
But if you want to tell me how to do music,
Yeah, tell another person how to do art, man.
you want to tell me how to do music?
You're saying my diary entry is bad.
Yeah. I'll show you what pig shit smells like. And I'll show you how you can't fucking wash it off.
Yeah, the smell.
You know what I mean? I've got so many boots that you can't even fucking be around because they stink, you know? And same with music. Like, I know. I've been there. You know how many pigs I've lost and then had to try and fucking lasso? You know how many times I've fucking, like, been bitten by pigs? You know, like, just shut up. Don't tell me about music. Don't tell me how to do mine. You can tell me how much you like it.
Yeah.
You can tell me what you do and don't like. But you ever try and come at me with fucking, you should do this? It's like, bitch,
any kind of art across the board, painting.
Mm-hmm.
Like you wouldn't, I don't know, like you see an abstract painting, like, should have put blue there.
Yeah.
What?
Right. Right.
He didn't want to put blue there.
Yeah. No, it's not.
What?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. It's because like I have that same thing that you do, talking about that. But then also, I hate I kind of hate almost everything I do, even though
Yeah, you're your own worst critic. Yes.
Yeah. Like there's this one song that we brought in that I didn't think was like it wasn't worthy of.
It wasn't up to par
Yeah,
to your
yeah.
standards.
It's just a demo, dude. It's just a demo.
Yeah,
It's the
Which is funny because that's like usually that's the best. Like it's gonna get the
right.
demo.
And kind of
Like when
bring
you're
it
just gonna try to
hardest,
go
too.
back and try to do more. Like you already captured the emotion
like
in the
bringing
demo.
it back to
Yeah.
how much I like writing with Blue, because this was just one of my demos, and then Blue didn't touch it. All he did was just add strings to it,
Oh yeah.
and it was like
Yeah, because
So
he's like
good.
it's already
it
good
was
how
like,
it is.
whoa, okay.
Why would I need
Yeah,
to change
now
it?
I
It's
like
there.
this.
so good. We didn't want to do it.
Sometimes you need
I was-
somebody from that's what's great about
'Cause
a
the-
producer.
yeah.
They're not up close to the canvas. They're back.
Yeah.
They can see like, why would I fuck your demo? It's
Yeah,
it.
because
This
the
is
whole
it.
time
This
I
is
was
it.
like, all right, you know, this. I mean, it was just one of those very simple. Yeah, it was
Right, 'cause
120,
you're sitting there
120
digesting
BPM.
it and-
You know, we
yeah.
can speed it up or slow it down. It's just a fucking whatever. The chorus, yeah, I'm down to change it. I know it sounds weird. It's a little, but yeah, didn't even touch it. He just like put strings on top of the whole thing, and it was like, whoa.
I've had that
Now I
happen
hear
with
it.
Dan.
Yeah.
Dan
Yeah.
Whitaker
Yep.
a lot as
Dude,
well, where I'm like, I don't know, I want to use cool sounds and make things like this. He's like, let's just use that.
Yeah.
You already did it.
Mhm.
We're putting that in the song.
Dan
Like,
was.
yeah.
Dan
I love
was
Dan.
Such
Dan's such a good dude.
a big part of Remarkable.
Did you know that
obviously.
we when we got signed to that label, we actually
Yes.
wrote Dan into our contract.
Yeah, he told me because we were recording
Yeah.
with Dan as well at the same time, native slash tongue.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember
out?
I told Heath this, but I remember on one of our sessions we came in and then your guys' contract was on his desk, and I was like, "What is that?" He's like, "Oh, that's I'm looking over the Charlatan contract for him."
Yeah.
So I remember that. I remember those
we
days.
we wrote Dan into our contract that said that.
Meaning you have to record with him. They didn't try to like force you
Yeah.
to go to someone else. Yes.
Well, they could suggest, but we had the option to go with Dan anytime we wanted, and that was something that we all kind of agreed upon. It was just like, yeah. Hold on, I wanted to go back to what you were saying too, and I got a bunch of things to go back to.
Yeah.
I'm fucking dumb. But
So he was talking about the demo, and like that
yeah,
Blue
about
just used the
things,
demo.
about the things that like he's like, I don't know, right?
That I hate all the things I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's another thing with music, and I'll bring it back to the pig analogy. You know how many pigs I killed because I didn't feed them? So many.
That sucks.
It does suck, and I hate myself for it.
It's the burden you have to
Right.
live with, right?
And that's with music too.
You weren't.
You know how many
home the bacon.
songs I forgot? You know how many songs I fucking didn't see through the end because I just didn't want to, even though I knew that it was what I was supposed to do. And then let me bring it back to what I really was trying to bring it back to earlier, which is we were talking about like when someone comes and says, "Hey, can you like help me with this?" Here's something that like just keeps me humble, right? The amount of times that I've been asked, because I sit there and I go, I'm a lyricist, I'm a poet, I'm a fucking artist, whatever.
Right.
I've been asked to write by like 3 people ever, you know, and for some reason I just go, maybe I'm not the fucking shit that I thought I was, you know,
Humble pie.
because I know that for me, like in myself, I know that I can, but I don't know that anybody else knows this. But like, I know that if anybody was to say like, hey, here's what I'm going through, like, can you help me write a song? I know that I could write it, and I can write it easier than I can write this a song for Charlatan.
Right, because you
I
can
think
have
I've
the
asked you to do
disconnect. Right.
Yeah. I know that I can, but the amount of times that I've been asked is 3, you know? And it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, man, keep doing your shit. like fucking you can only prove yourself to yourself, kind of thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What are some of like the more fun situations you've had in shows or like on tour? Because I know on tour you guys had a lot of fun
one of my
stuff.
favorite
like you doing like the rock
yeah,
paper scissors
rock,
with
paper,
the
scissors.
homeless man,
That was awesome.
and
Dude,
then it zooms in on him and just crushed. So yeah, you want to kind of tell that
great
story?
editing by Heath.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to kind of tell that story? How that happened? It was in San Francisco or Seattle?
Portland.
Portland.
It was
Yeah.
Portland.
It was
In between the two.
Yeah,
Got it.
it was the
Literally in between the two.
yeah, it was the first day of tour.
Yeah. Portland.
Which
Portland is
you know
the
what?
worst
Portland
fucking
sucks.
city
I'm
in
gonna
the
say that
fucking
right now.
world.
Portland sucks.
Portland is the worst city in
It's
the fucking
dirty.
world.
I disagree.
Nothing's open on Saturdays.
On Saturdays?
nobody works.
Until noon?
If they're
I wake
even
up
open
at
at all.
6:30. All I'm looking for
We
is
just
a cup
want a
of coffee.
goddamn
I walked
coffee.
fucking 10
God.
miles looking for a cup of coffee. No place was
We could
open.
find a beer
I couldn't
before
even.
we could find a coffee.
I literally drank beer 3 hours
Have you
before
only
I
been
could
there
find
once?
a fucking coffee.
Have you been
yes,
there
I
only-
have. But first impressions. First
Go back
impressions.
again.
And I was in the middle of it.
again.
I was literally
Go back
in the
on a Friday.
middle of downtown.
But-
and I couldn't find a fucking coffee on a Saturday morning until noon.
I'll
To-
just-
I
I'll
guess
just
to kind
graze.
of like equate the same situation. The first time I ever went to San Francisco was also on tour. Bunch of crap shit happened. Poo poo tour.
Yeah.
Fuck San Francisco, right?
Right.
I went back like a year or two later. Completely different experience.
like- I'm
sure.
Completely-
I like
yeah,
San
yeah.
Francisco on
It's
But
the
I
just
same
love
flight.
yeah,
hating
it's good.
Portland because too many
Yeah.
people fucking like Portland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're allowed to have that opinion.
Yeah.
Dude,
So
also,
People are like, this is this fucking mecca fucking thing of like free thinking. It's like, really? Can I get a fucking cup of coffee? Because like I'm all about free thinking, but there's a little bit of corporatism that you need if you want a
If I don't
fucking
got
cup
my
of coffee.
we just
I
went
just
through
need a cup of coffee.
one of the most
You
stressful
ever
drives
just try to get some
ever.
caffeine? You ever try to get some caffeine?
Oh,
It's
you ever
known
try
and
to
you
get
can't get caffeine.
You ever try to get so
Portland?
much coffee that you can never die? We go to a gas station. And I'm like, hey, do you guys have coffee? They're like, we don't have it made yet. And I'm like, it's fucking noon.
Yeah.
Can I get a pack of cigarettes? They're like, well,
We haven't made them yet.
Well, maybe.
The coffee shop that we
Our
finally-
fucking credit card machine's down.
I can just
God
picture
damn.
you in the fucking oh my god, I can just picture you in the gas station. I'm getting mad.
Dude, so mad. But they're like, I think that one on the corner is just opening up now. And so by this time, I walked around for 2.5 hours before anybody in the band woke
No,
up.
I was there with you.
No, okay. But okay,
I was front seat, buddy.
statistically,
Chopped liver, bud.
statistically, nobody else had woken up.
Oh, I'm not in the band now. Again.
So finally, after walking miles, going back to the car, people are brushing their teeth. Oh, let's get coffee. I'm
Also
like,
waking up with Portland.
yeah. And I'm like, okay, so we're going to go get coffee, walk around for another couple miles, finally find a bar that's open.
Oh, the peanut butter jelly?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got coffee flavored beer before we got coffee.
Yeah. And peanut butter jelly beer,
Like
which is the
Guinness.
first time we had that. Oh, so
It was
good.
great. It was great.
So good.
So then we walk around for another couple. I wrote a whole short story before I found fucking coffee. We go to this gas station. Everybody's following me around. We're soaking wet because it's Portland. And they're like, well, we don't have coffee, but that fucking place on the corner is opening up now.
So wait.
was
How does
great.
it get to the homeless guy?
Oh, yeah.
The main
Wait,
bit
wait,
that started the cover to
rock,
do the
paper,
RIP.
Oh, okay. So in the middle
I
of
think
that.
he was in on the bit, though, right?
No, he wasn't.
Afterward.
We gotta play that. We gotta play that at the end of
Yeah.
this. So he plays the
Yeah.
the clip.
So I forgot we were getting to that story. In the middle of that walking, I swear to God, I walked 10, 11 miles that day.
Yeah,
right?
dude. We got our
Just looking for
calories
coffee.
on, dude.
And in that amount of time, I had given away like a pack and a half of cigarettes.
Just people asking for cigarettes.
people
wow.
at
and
bums
you just being
asking for
nice.
cigarettes.
Just being nice.
Yeah.
yeah.
Bandmates.
And then finally, like when we get all the band together, I was like, here's the thing. All these people keep coming up and being like, hey man, I'll pay you for a cigarette. I was like, here's the thing. I'm going to either take their money or else I'm like, they're going to have to do something to get a cigarette. Rock, paper, scissors, right? And the amount of people that I was like, they're like, hey, can I pay for a cigarette? I was like, yes. And I'd hand out they're like, oh, I'm out of money. I was like, cool, rock, paper, scissors. They're like, I'm good. And then this guy, I was like, all right. He's like, hey man, can I pay for a cigarette? I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh shit, I'm out of change. I was like, okay, rock, paper, scissors. He's like, okay, cool. I'm like, okay, best 2 out of 3. He's like, no. He's like, first one wins. I'm like, all right, bitch. I was like, Heath, turn on the camera.
Get that camcorder.
Yeah.
Get
So
the
he
camera
like
on.
fucking
The time
records,
is now.
and then it was like, bam, bam. And we even discussed for a minute. It was like, do we go on rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah.
Or rock, paper, scissors, shoot?
1, 2, 3, or
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
The
shoot.
rules
Yeah.
were set. They were
They
set
were-
out. Yeah,
they
you,
were
you,
set.
You weren't just fucking around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was like, you sure you don't want to do 2 out of 3? He's like, no, first one wins. I was like, okay. Bam, 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 bam. And then fucking he lost, and you can just see him. He looks at the camera. He's like, yep.
It went like the black and white too, right?
Yeah. And so,
Oh no.
Hello, darkness,
Am I old friend?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know what? It was because he was just like, I lost.
He's
I
a G.
fucking lost.
Yeah.
I was like, here's a cigarette. You're the only person today that has earned a fucking cigarette.
Yeah. He was.
And-
If anyone deserves
Yeah,
it,
I
it's
gave
you,
him like
bud.
3.
Yeah, he deserved
You
it.
know, I was
Yeah.
like, dude, you're a fucking G, and that's what's up. Like,
keep going.
you
keep
owned
on-
up to your
yeah,
shit.
Keep on
you know?
keeping on.
And it's like you get rewarded for, and maybe it's just for a cigarette that's gonna kill you or whatever. But like, you were fucking just straight up like, no, I want one shot. I don't fucking want to like play this game. Like, I will earn my cigarette. And I was like, cool. I earned my fucking cigarettes, you know. And yeah, you lost, but you know what? You were so fucking real about it.
Here you go.
Here you go.
Yeah, I
You
love
know?
that. That's
was-
such a
it was
good
awesome.
story.
It
And
was
also
so cool.
and it's such a funny video. I remember seeing that for the
Yeah.
first time. You're like,
Yeah.
oh no, poor guy.
By the way, we asked him if we could fucking
right? Yeah, it's not
do
like you're
all
doing.
that.
Yeah,
That's why I said, like, was he in on it?
Yeah.
But it was after, yeah. It was
Yeah,
like, dude, is it
we're like,
cool?
hey man,
Yeah.
like, is that cool? If we
right.
do-" He's
Yeah,
like,
as, you
yeah,
sh-
sure.
as it should be. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we filmed you. Can
And
we?
even
yeah.
though, like, technically, I
think
know, like
technically,
in Utah, you don't need permission
No.
to film anybody.
No.
I don't think it's that way in Portland
it's just
either.
courteous though.
But
yeah,
it was just like, hey man, fucking,
We're
is it
banned,
cool if we
yeah.
use this? Like, you're a fucking rad dude.
He also earned it that way
Yeah.
too. You're like, hey, you helped us with a fun little video
Yeah.
for our tour.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you earned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heath edited it.
Yeah.
Edited it the next day at in Seattle.
2Ds. Count
Yeah.
the
The fucking
edited.
shout out Versus. I don't know if they're still a band.
I don't
But
think
those
they are, but
dudes-
those guys rock.
Yeah, those dudes were so cool.
Also, fucking Avoid. They were on that.
They-
not they, but
no,
like we
just
played with them.
Benny was there. He was.
We
that
played
was-
with them in Seattle, and then Benny was
Yeah.
the tour manager for Versus, and he's a fucking G. And what was it?
I-
The
dude, I can't-
Segway. I always made fun of them because their name sounded like a Segway,
Oh shit!
but they were cool. They
were
They were
awesome.
the ones that were using their equipment the whole time.
Yeah, their cabs.
Something
I think.
Survive. Versa Survive. Versa.
I don't know. Damn it.
I think
I'm
that
so
sounds
s-
correct.
I'm
from-
sorry,
from
dudes.
remembering the
Yeah.
tour poster. I think it
I
was
don't know.
Versa survives. Yeah.
And then
Vespa Survive.
a couple
I think
people.
that's what I was thinking is Vespa Survive.
a cup. Oh, yeah, Vespa something. It's something like that.
Yeah.
Shit.
I don't know.
Also, a couple of the guys in Alisana were cool.
Yeah, a couple of them
about
were
that?
really cool.
How about that?
A couple
There's
of
a
them were
little
really
treat
cool.
for you.
I got in trouble on that tour from the label
I
because
guess-
I didn't party enough.
Also, to oh god, I guess to even draw back before that, because I remember Heath talking about before you guys left, like the whole album cover
Oh
debacle.
my god,
Well,
That
that
was
was
such
right.
bullshit.
that
Fuck
shit
those
pisses me
guys.
off to this day.
I'm sorry, yeah.
No,
to bring it
it's-
up, but like that.
No,
so you're
for-
all, to set the.
I'm not
the
as
scene,
red hot as earlier,
but we're hot.
but we're getting.
But to set the scene, something that's I think is just the most badass thing is as you guys were on tour because you couldn't have that. You all got that tattoo
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah.
we did that
Take
in
a bow.
Pomona.
Yeah.
And the
They
guy
wouldn't
that's
let
the
us.
record head of the record labels on the
Yeah.
tour with you is just like big, like
And our tattoos are just
Yeah.
bleeding while we're playing on stage.
Yeah,
they're
and
fresh.
the whole time, the
They're
whole entire tour.
fresh.
Yeah.
But we like made a deal with this dude to make that artwork for us, and then they're like,
which is like he is like a renowned artist. Like people,
To us.
yeah.
I
Well,
don't-
I mean, like there, he's
his name's
like
Lizard Boy.
it's specific
it was,
what he,
anyways.
yeah. But like I remember looking him up. specific to what he does. Like he
Yes.
does what he does well, and
His-
he's
his
respected
art
for what
style
he
is
does.
his.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you got this awesome artwork, you have
Yeah.
the concept, and they're like, nah.
Yeah, they're like, we can put it on the physical, but they won't let us put it on
the
Spotify.
Spotify
And I'm
and
like,
the
dude,
digital.
Cannibal Corpse's albums are on there.
Right.
They got like a fucking album where like a chick's fucking
Gore.
like cut open and like getting her pussy eaten or something. shit.
Gwar.
Yeah.
Like there's so much shit.
I'm like,
Tenacious
oh,
D.
I can't have a fucking strawberry vagina on my album cover.
Yeah.
Fuck your bitch ass mother. You know what I mean? Like, anyway.
It's just people controlling the art at the end of it. Yeah. You're like, this is the art I wanted to make and what I wanted
Yeah.
to do, and you're saying no, I can't do that, and that's
Yeah.
not acceptable to me.
It-
But so going to he was mad at you for not partying enough.
I don't. So this is secondhand information. I had.
It's something. Like
So I was driving the whole tour, except for 45 minutes of the tour. I drove
30,
the whole
45
time.
Out of your own choice, or
Yeah.
okay, because I've had that where
we
I
bought the
no
van
one,
for the tour.
no one wanted to help me, and
Well,
that same band, Native/Tongue.
Yeah.
Same thing. I drove a whole tour, but it was because no one else wanted to, and I got forced into it.
I was
It wasn't my
always-
choice.
I was always like, dude,
Well,
Yeah.
I bought the van in my name for the tour.
Right. So you're like, I need to make sure it
Right.
stays. Yeah.
But then also we're going to all these states where weed's legal, and I had pretty much stopped
it out at that
drinking
point.
for the tour.
You're like, I'm going to
And-
be the responsible one.
I think
Well, I just knew that I would be.
I think
Right.
I had like 3 beers the whole tour.
I drank, but
Not when you were driving or right before you drove.
no. I was drinking right before our show. Then once the
Loosen
show
up
was
for the
over,
show, yeah.
I fucking went and took a nap while everybody took care of merch. And then once everybody loaded all the shit back in the trailer, I fucking got back to driving, you know? And so, like, I knew that I was fine.
And then Alessandra or whoever got mad at you.
I don't even, like, again,
secondhand,
like I said,
you don't know
it
if
was
it's true,
secondhand.
but the fact
they're
that
like,
you found out about.
yeah, they're like, yeah, they're pretty pissed because they're like, well, the singer of the band should be partying with everybody and making connections. I was like,
Oh.
if they don't fucking want to make connections before the show, I don't want to make connections with them after the show.
Was it
Right. I've always disliked that
Yeah.
mindset of like someone being standoff or uncool to you, and then when you play, they're like, oh no, they're cool.
I showed up to the show
Like,
2
be
hours
cool to
before
everybody.
every fucking band in the world.
Dude, was it in Albuquerque when we didn't go to that strip club or some shit?
Yeah, that was when I found out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you, me, and Heath, I think.
No, Heath went to the strip club.
Oh, did he?
You and me, yeah.
Was it just us? We stayed in the van?
Yeah.
Is New Mexico?
Yeah.
I'll talk
And it
shit
was
on
a
New
surprise
Mexico.
show.
You talk shit on Portland. I'll talk shit on New
Yeah.
Mexico, dude.
I'll
What
tell
a
you what,
butthole.
Dude, that shit was kind of
New
scary.
Mexico is a shit state.
That was kind of scary.
But I'll tell you what,
agrees.
there's this fucking hat shop that was right down the street from where we went. It was like called Mr. Hat or something. But
Naturally.
they're like one of the oldest fucking like cowboy hats.
That's cool.
Dude, and I went in there and I talked to the fucking people that were running it. There was 2 dudes.
They like
And I
super
talked to them
passionate
for
about
like
hatters.
3
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
just
think I
like,
was there.
that's cool hat. That's cool hat. And they're like, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. And I'm just like, dude, I'm so fucking punch drunk. This is just like the coolest shit I could ever
Yeah.
be in right now.
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
And that was that. And Jack in the Box made that state fucking worth it.
Was that also where
Yeah.
we went to the sex toy?
Yeah,
Was that
yeah. We went
Albuquerque?
to we went to.
Yeah.
It was Valentine's Day.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
I was like, I got to get something for my wife or my girlfriend at the time. I got to get something for her. So we went to the sex shop and we just like fucking.
You didn't end up getting anything, right?
No, I did. I got
I'm
2
just
butt
kidding.
plugs. Oh, I was like, one for
I
me,
was
one
like,
for
chill
her.
out, dude.
Tried it out once and I was
I
like, yeah, I
remember.
don't dig it.
I was like, are you sure about this?
I didn't. They're both thrown away.
Look, but you tried it.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
you got to try it.
Yeah. How do you know if you don't?
Yeah, it's like that other song that we wrote. I had a kid come up to us one time.
Which
He's like, don't say his name.
okay.
He's like, hey man, I did something kind of gay. It's not his words,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it was just that. I was like,
But he can't. This is cold coming up to you.
yeah,
saying
just
that
at a
to you.
show.
Yeah,
He's
at a
like,
show.
yeah, I did something. Like, not quote him, but he's like, yeah, I did something like pretty gay. And I was like, cool, dude. And he's like, yeah, I was drunk. I was thinking about your song. It's like, yeah,
Bone Dance.
no, it was you know me, I'll try anything once.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I was like,
Sick Nasty.
cool. I was like, how'd you like it? He's like, I don't know, but I tried it, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, dude. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
You made a guy.
You
be gay
changed
for
him
a
over.
sec?
Yeah, it changed
Yeah.
him in his mindset in his life. Yeah,
Yeah,
That
and it
actually
was
is
it
like
kinda
affected
cool.
him. The music affected him. Yeah, made him
it
think.
affected him enough to do something that he probably wouldn't have otherwise.
I don't know, dude. He might have.
He might have,
Might have, but not in that moment. You know.
But in that
triggered
moment, he was
man.
like, you know me, I'll try anything once. That's cool. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Did you like it? No. It's like, okay, now you understand some
Yeah,
of the
you know-
other
yeah.
songs I wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think we talked about dad hats.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that was
Dad
good.
I
Hats
love
was
that.
I forgot
good.
about
I remember the day after you guys did that.
Yeah.
I was in the studio and Dan's like, check
Was
this
that-
out.
Yeah.
And push play. I was like, oh, I wish I
Yeah.
was here.
Was that
Oh,
was that Father's
so
Day?
funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you guys had like
Yeah.
what
It
was for
3
Father's
dad
Day.
hats
Yeah.
or something. You're like, we gotta make an advertisement.
Yep. Yeah.
Dad,
Dad.
Don't even remember how.
can I call you my dad?
Baby, 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 you're my baby boy. Daddy. I wrote that, by the way.
Didn't I?
Speaking
I
of
did a
like,
part in that, right?
yeah.
Don't
Speaking
fucking,
of
I don't
like,
even remember.
from what I
know we
remember,
just met.
from what I remember, they were doing it and you weren't even there. From what I remember, and they're like, "Yo, you got to get down here
Yeah,
now."
yeah.
From what I remember,
I
from
think
Dan
so.
telling
Pretty
me,
sure I was. I don't remember.
that's what Dan told me.
I don't think you were there the whole time.
Okay.
But
But
the
I
other thing,
remember they're like, we got to do
Could
this.
be.
So I was like, if we're
Could be.
doing this, I'm writing it.
the other thing I remember Dan saying, which I loved. I remember him being like, "All right, if we're gonna do this, you get 1 take or 2 take,
Yeah.
and that's it. So either you get it or
Yeah.
you don't." I loved that.
That's
I
the-
loved
me too.
that.
That's part of the
No,
fun.
no overthinking it. Just
Yeah.
fucking do. It's funny.
Be
Go.
funny.
Just go.
Be funny.
Go.
Dan fucking got us.
He did.
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
Dan
so
the
fun.
Man, the Magic Man,
Yeah,
Man,
dude.
Man.
Dan the man, the bad man.
I love Dan. Such a good dude.
That all started because he's like, dude, I want to do funny videos. I was like, and like,
Like, okay, let's do it.
I wouldn't say just me, but like, we were just like, okay, you want to do funny videos?
Was that before Sippy
Here's
Cup?
how you do funny. Yeah, no, after.
After. So
Yeah.
so he's like, you guys are cool and fun. I want to do
Yeah.
fun stuff too.
Yeah, because we were already doing this
He was
culture shock
inspired
thing.
by that.
We did a culture shock thing where we were doing like band interviews and then making up skits in between.
Like the turtleneck one and stuff like that.
Yeah, so that was like one of the
Yeah.
last ones that we did. Tango.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like one of the last. So like,
Oh, I do remember that.
like
I
bunch
do,
of
yeah.
wives and
Bunch of wives.
yeah, the beer pong magician.
I don't remember that.
That
one.
one's one of
That
my
one's a
favorites.
good one.
It got the sound got taken off for a while.
Chrissy's
and then it-
awkward life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like we were doing that.
So like kind of so you guys were already doing that, and then Dan also be inspired by what you are doing, kind of cultivate and work together and create some
Yeah.
more things that would have been created if he wasn't also inspired by.
Yeah.
what you were
He's
doing.
just a funny dude.
We did a Christmas skit with Dan one time.
Yes,
too.
Yeah.
yes, that one was great.
Yeah,
I remember him
where we
showing me
all
that.
got
Yeah.
him awesome
Yes,
shit, and
yeah,
he
these
made
guys-
us like these handmade
Oh, a new
gifts.
guitar.
Sick.
You reminded me of that the other day.
Yeah, it's like it's the little
I
paintings.
forgot
Yeah, the
about it.
shitty
Yeah.
paintings. Yes, I loved that.
And those were
So
all
stupid.
like real gifts that he either had or made for somebody. I don't remember when we got them out of his car.
I was always
I
so
don't
jealous
remember.
of those. I was like, oh, these
Yeah.
guys have so much fun.
Yeah,
That's all it is, dude. It's so much fun.
That's,
that-
I mean, that's what it should be about.
that was
Yeah,
our shit.
That's how it
man.
should be.
Did you ever see the Spelling Bay?
Oh, that's
I
great.
probably have. Remind me.
It was he's like a rapper,
I'm
and he's like sitting there playing with a coloring book. He's like, "Yo, babe, that was the first joke that we thought of, by the way. It was "Yo, babe, what's that word? It's 26 different letters, one word." It's like,
Oh, that's
the
the
alphabet.
alphabet.
and then I go,
bitch.
bitch, I knew that.
Yeah. He's sitting there going, orange, orange, rhymes with orange. Rhymes with orange.
Yeah, that one was fun.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that skit was the transition. I think me and Gray kiss in
Yeah.
every single
Dude, and
sketch
we-
we've ever done.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't think was in the dad hat one.
No.
Oh,
No,
maybe
but
not.
that was something. That was everything that the Charlatan skits have done. We ended up kissing.
Yeah.
Not
So
Dan influences.
So
Yeah.
my favorite part is just
Oh.
in the Spelling Bay one where the kissing scene,
Yeah.
just the transition, because we do a shitty transition where
Yeah.
it's like, kiss from this
editing
angle. and
shot
then-
wise. You mean?
And then you chop it, you come to the angle over here, and then it's just the same shitty kiss. It's so bad. It's my
Dude.
favorite thing.
I love.
We had to kiss probably 20 times because we just kept laughing as we were kissing.
It was rough.
Yeah, you're like, we need to be serious actors. Dude, I was going to say, before I forget, I love that in all the dancing videos, you're just in the back chilling.
Thank you.
I love that. You're just,
It's character I developed.
I love, dude, I love it. It's so great because it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Girls love it too, by the way.
It enhances the
They do.
experience because it's like, what does this guy do? It is so funny. I love it.
It is kind of insane how many comments that gets of just like, oh,
Who's the guy in the back?
the guy that doesn't
Who's
care.
the guy in the back?
Yeah.
He's so unfazed. That's the number
Oh,
one
it's
comment.
what
The guy in the back is so unfazed. You must do this all the time.
It's not unfazed. It's unbothered.
Yeah.
Yeah, the unbothered guy. And I'm like,
He's chilling, man.
It's either that or, hey, it's a knockoff Casey Frey. Or
Yeah.
the one that pisses me off
I don't
is
know
they
that
go,
reference. Sorry.
Casey Frey, he was a Vine dude.
Oh, my
Um,
bad. I
or
was
they'll
I
go
never
like,
got
apparently
on
Gray
Vine.
It's like an older Casey Frey. And by the way, he's a month older than me. I just want to make that clear for the record. I just look old. He is older than me.
I want to just say thank you so much for coming and sharing your time, and it's been an absolute pleasure, and just thank you for your time and being honest. And
Oh,
Yeah,
I feel
just
like I
having- yeah.
bullied you into having me on. Because at your show last time, I
No,
was like, why do
honestly-
you have me on your show, dude?
no, not at all. Like I could show you like a note system when we started the podcast
Yeah.
that I had who I wanted on, but at first I felt like I didn't want to disrespect Blue and just have every single guest that they had on. So I
Totally
tried to
makes
kept
sense.
some of them more like, okay, let's wait till we get better at this, and we'll also make sure it's people aren't like, oh, he's just copying Blue
Yeah.
because or Blue and Heath.
Well, they stopped, so fuck them.
I know, and I love their podcast.
And they're like my best friends.
I love the
By the way,
I love the
I did
podcast.
too.
It's the reason we started this is because I did that, and I was like, I need
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah.
I need to do it. I've been thinking about it forever. I need to do it.
Yeah.
So I hit him up.
By the
and
way,
luckily he's down to do it.
an
So
unusually long time to have me on too. I think it was like their 5th guest. I was like, "Come on, guys, I'm here all the time. Do I have to bully you to be on your podcast?"
honestly, no, I'm glad. I love to when seeing people in person and asking them. I would prefer that to go see a show or be at a show and then talk and be like, let's do it. I prefer that than like a cold like, hey, come on.
get that.
I prefer it to be in person because
Yeah.
then it's like if you don't want to do it and you tell me in person, cool.
Right.
But you know what I mean.
Well-
Obviously, I've never had that, but it's. Or if
I
they're
don't know
like,
if you know this about me, but I love talking
he
about
loves
myself.
he fucking loves talking, dude.
who doesn't though?
I
Who doesn't like talking?
smarter
Yeah.
people than me.
You know why we're a
Then
good
they're
duo?
they're just lying. Then they're putting up a front. Everybody's
love listening.
selfish to a degree.
No, I agree with that.
They're just putting up a front.
But
They're like, I'm too cool for it.
Also, people like I said, go to therapy. Don't unload on your friends.
Yeah, it's good advice.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just shove it
But
down.
I
dude.
will say
shove
this.
it down with Brown.
This shit, yeah. Get some blue, maybe.
She don't want my blue.
I really enjoyed this, and I appreciate you both having me.
Yeah,
And-
thanks for
and
letting me. Thanks for letting me
Yeah,
last
he
second. Just he's like, dude, I gotta have someone drive me because the car's not gonna be there, and I'm like, all right, as long as I can be on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's how it's always been. It's like I hit up whoever, and if they're like, I want to do it by myself, cool. But if you're like, you want the whole band, of course.
Right.
But it's like I'm gonna leave it up to them if they want, because I don't want to force anything that's not.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Because there's certain bands where they're the one like the singer or whatever. They're the band. Everyone else is like their friends that play with them or whatever else. So they don't really. So it's up to them, you know.
You know, after that shit went down with the record label, I actually told the whole band and myself that I wasn't going to do another podcast besides Ian's.
Wow.
Yeah. And then
because of like in
well, I
the sense
bought into
of
my
like,
own shit.
right. You're
Right.
like, this isn't me being honest.
It wasn't even that I wasn't being honest. It was
Mm.
so I bought into my own shit, and then like other people in the band too were like, "Hey, you know, we're more than just you as a band. It's like, I know, but I'm the only one talking, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a weird time just for everybody. But I was like, dude, I don't want to be the fucking, like, I'm not Charlatan.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody should know that.
Right.
Whether
it's collective.
for this conversation or not. Like, I am literally the least important member of Charlatan. Like, the musicians in the band now, like, they are so much more talented. They, like, I wouldn't, yeah, I can sit there and write poems and stuff, but no one's going to listen to what the fuck I'm saying if it wasn't for the music behind it.
I think just I agree, and I see what you're saying, but I feel like you're selling yourself short though.
No,
because
I
everybody
think
should be like, they also wouldn't be what it is without you. Like
Okay,
if you remove yourself, yeah, they're gonna be, but it's not gonna be Charlatan. It'll be a different band. It'd be a different project.
But you
It's
know
only
what?
Charlatan
They would
because of
be
you
they
together.
would be a different band.
Yeah.
If I didn't have my band,
Right.
I would just be a dude who wrote words, and that no one would listen to. No, it wouldn't be anything, right? And if I was even to try with other musicians
You don't think it'd work.
outside of a fucking like a band that understood that, like, hey man, no, like, we are just doing what we want. You know, like, there's so many bands in the world that don't get that, right? They're chasing some kind of clout. They're chasing
A trend.
a trend, or this is how it should be.
Right. Yeah.
And Charlatan,
disgusting.
like, we went through that, like I was talking
Yeah,
about
we all. I
earlier.
mean, we kind of all do. You have to learn, but
So with another band, like, nobody's gonna trust me. No one's gonna trust me. These guys didn't trust me.
Dumbass.
Step by step by step until they finally did.
I don't know, man. I feel like you're an Iggy Pop. I feel like people would work with you if you wanted to. I think you're selling yourself short because I know I
Maybe-
can understand that, but I like what you do is valuable.
But I think that what I should say is,
You really appreciate your
well,
band.
let's just bring it to Iggy Pop, right?
Okay, yeah.
And I'm not going to compare myself to him. But Iggy Pop lived in a time where people were experimental and they did their thing. And then, like, I'm sure so many people went to Iggy Pop and they were like, what are you doing? Right?
Yeah, yeah.
But then
Like,
here
why would
in
you do that?
2023, people do that and they're like, you're wrong. You know? And Iggy Pop would either change or else people would move on beyond him. Right? And then Iggy Pop finally got to a certain point, and even in his own career where like he became something that was like undeniable almost. And I would say that I haven't reached an undeniable point. What I have reached is an undeniable point in my own band. Right? Like, my band isn't going to deny me something because they know, and maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but tell me if I'm wrong, is that if I am saying that, like, this is what we should do, I am doing it in the interest of all of us.
Yeah, that's how I've always seen it. I mean, like what you were saying earlier, that's not how I've seen you. Like, one of the reasons why I wanted to join the band fucking 10 years ago was I was like, oh, like, before I knew you, it was like, this guy gets me.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, it was like, I get you, you get me.
Right.
Like, we can do something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can be vulnerable
Yeah.
together. Yes.
But
It was,
that's the luxury of this band, right? Now, Tyler could go and play guitar in any other band. It's like, and he may be like, oh, I don't know technically how to do that for this band, but Tyler can learn, and he will learn, right?
Right. But versus if you went to some other band, you can't mold yourself to them.
I can't
It's only going to
learn-
be you.
it wouldn't be as fun, though. I'd say that.
Oh, for sure. I can say that. Forever. No one's ever going to have as much fun in a band as they will with me. No one's ever going to be fucking as heartbroken as they will in a band with me. But,
Ouch.
I
just remembered.
right.
Just kidding.
right in the gut.
like when Heath started, so when we were kind of like on this hiatus, he started that casket shit, right?
His solo project.
Yeah. And I had kicked Tyler out of the band. Nobody was in the band. It was just me and Heath and Lasco, right? And we were doing nothing. And he showed me the demo of his first song. And I was like, Heath, if you want a music career, do this. Leave me. Get out of here. Do this. Like, you will have a music career. A real one. And I believe that to this day.
What I'm understanding is that you just feel very grateful that they want to be in a band with you and create with you. Because you know how talented they are, and they could go and play with other people if they wanted to, but they don't. They choose to play with you.
I think yes.
Yes,
what you said isn't wrong.
Right.
But like Heath going and doing that, that would have been the truth, right? That would have been the truth for him. And he could have found anybody to do it with him, and it still would have been successful, and it would have been great. And the stuff that he will do, as now it's not called Caskets anymore, it's called Thread.
Shouts out.
The shit that he will do with that will still be great. And unfortunately for him, but very fortunate for me, Charlatan is still going to be his love. And there's something kind of poetic about how that would be the truth, but Charlatan is the truth, but also with the trust that it may be false. And it's the danger. It's the danger of Charlatan.
Uncertainty.
And no one should fucking believe in me, right? These motherfuckers that love me and call me their brother and fucking advocate for me to be the mouthpiece of this fucking thing that we're doing called Charlatan.
We're all faking it.
It's like, it's so stupid, but it's also beautiful. It's trust, and it's truth, and it's fucking love, and it's hate, and it's all these weird fucking things that don't make sense, but it only doesn't make sense because you're not in it.
That's
And
life.
when you're in it, it fucking makes sense. And even when you're in it, it doesn't make sense a lot of the time. It doesn't. Bucket, Dan, Blue, the amount of times that we've sat there and been like, this is what we're doing, and it's like, why? And it's like, I don't know. I just know that it fucking makes sense, and I know that I feel it right fucking here, dude. I feel it right here in a way that almost even makes me hate myself, but it makes sense right here. It's not a good feeling. It's just a feeling, and it overpowers all these other feelings. In life, you don't get to make fucking decision. You don't get to buy a house based on this weird feeling, right? You don't get to fucking you don't even get to get married on this weird feeling. There's like this. It's a fucking real. You have to work into it, but with Charlatan, it's like, this seems dangerous. I may fall off this cliff in this weird, my friends just jumped. Should I jump? In love, in life, in fucking business, in anything that makes any kind of real sense, you go, no, I'm not gonna jump off that cliff. That's fucking stupid. But in Charlatan, it's like, my friends just jumped. Fuck yes.
I'm jumping with them.
I wish I would have jumped first. And I don't know, it doesn't make sense. I can't explain it to anybody. And if you don't, I hope that if anybody who listens to this that's making art, that is questioning themselves, gets anything, it's feel that. And if you don't feel that, search for it. And if you can't find the closest fucking thing, man. Who cares? Who cares? No one's gonna remember my name. No one's gonna remember Charlatan. But what they might remember is like that fucking feeling right there that goes, fuck, I wish I would have jumped first. I wish I would have done something. It's like I didn't wear the fucking first dress on stage,
Right.
but I am the one that helped convince the other 4 members in the band to do it
Yeah, I didn't
at
know
one of our
convincing-
most important, what we considered our most important performances, you know?
Which one?
He chuckles.
It's just, I don't know, jump.
Yeah, dude. You know what's
Do
nice
something
about
cool.
having a gray too? Having a gray in my life. I have trouble just communicating my thoughts.
Right.
Just
yeah.
fucking
It's hard.
being
To,
straight-
yeah. All right,
like,
so we're
yeah.
communication.
I've
or,
gotten
like,
better.
English is so hard.
Yeah, I've gotten better over the years, but I don't know. Gray just fucking gets me. He feels it. Like, I don't know. There's just
Like empathy.
yeah, he just feels
You
it.
can
He's
just
like,
understand.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I feel that too. All right, we're doing that. Talking about like where a song needs to go or just whatever in that process. It's like I just have to be like, you get it, right? And he's like, yeah, I get it. I'll help.
I'll help.
I'll help push it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
with Kill, that's what took Kill so long, out of this new EP cycle,
Right.
because we knew we liked Blue, and like we were still like, you just got back in the band, Connor just got back in the band, Paulie just joined the band, and Connor and Paulie weren't even there, like as we were sitting there writing this shit,
Oh,
right?
yeah, they lived in California at the time.
They lived in California.
Oh, I remember. Yeah,
and,
I remember.
and they would
yeah.
give notes and shit after they heard it. But essentially, like, so we wrote Sheep. That was the song where we go, are we going to still be a band?
Yeah.
Like, we don't even know if we're going to do this.
Do we still
Right.
want to do this?
I don't even know if I like any of you. And all of us thought that about each other, right? It's like, okay, let's do this song.
Yeah,
And let's
fuck
just
you,
see
dude.
if we can fucking make a song together, right? And so we make Sheep, and it was like, cool. This turned out pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we didn't release it for like a year and a half, you know?
Did you not do the music video till later as
No,
well?
not even. Like,
With Riley, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool one.
Like,
I like that
we
one.
just sat on that because the song wasn't supposed to be released. It was supposed to be like,
It was just a mulligan.
do we
You're
know
just
how to
like,
write
yeah.
music?
Yeah.
Do we know how to record music? Do we know how to be in the same 4 walls and not fucking hate each other, right? And it was like, cool, we did that. It was difficult, but we did it. Then like 6-9 months later, we go back in. We're like,
69
okay.
months later. Jesus
We go back in. We're like, are we gonna do another song? Okay, cool. Like this, like we had many FaceTimes and video chats. It's like, okay, this is what we're doing. And then we go in the studio, and it was like, okay, here's Wretch, and it wasn't even called Wretch then. I don't even. It was called
I called it.
Something
It's always something
yeah.
stupid.
It always starts with something stupid.
Yeah.
But we go in there and like we do the demo, then we're sitting there arguing. These parts are cool. This sucks. And then fucking it was the first song that we started and it was the last song that we fucking finished in it's like 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah.
For 4 fucking songs. And it was just because we had to get back in touch with it. And we weren't going to compromise on what we were doing. You know? It was like, this is either going to be... People are going to love this or hate it. I'm not down with this fucking, like, song. It's like, it's good or it's not. And that's up to you. But, like, I love it. And I'm not going to walk away from this unless I fucking love it. And... yeah, it's taken a long fucking time. People still go, hey, is Charlatan still together? It's like, technically.
Yeah.
Technically, we're not, actually. But in the realest sense, we're more together than ever. We're fucking making the music that fucking matters. To us, you know? It's like, no, like, will anybody remember this? I don't fucking know, but I will.
Right.
You know,
And that's all you should worry
it's
about.
the most
yeah.
like I listen to Remarkable, I listen to Nothing to Gain, and I go, I love those, but like nothing is as important as what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And then so just to cap it off, yeah, for the next EP, like I put so much fucking effort into making sure that everything that I said on Kill was gonna fucking matter and make sense and be everything that I wanted to say, because in every song before then, like there's something, it's just even a phrase. I said this and it was like,
And it just like always you're like,
yeah,
oh,
and
I
I
wish
go,
I could have changed that.
I should have, but we didn't,
You
right?
compromised.
And Kill, I didn't. And now here we are on Your, and I'm just sitting there going, Pink hasn't crossed your mind. It's just the way the sun went down. I know that I need that, right? I got stuck. And we did this in, when did we do that? That was
Shit.
4 or 5 months ago.
I should know this, right? I'm the guy.
And
I'm the guy for that.
And I'm just sitting there going, fuck. And then we recorded 3 other more demos, and I haven't even been able to get to them because I'm like, I don't know what Your is about.
Yeah.
I knew what Kill was about, but I know that Your is something different.
You're still
And
trying to figure it out, yeah.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
And you can't force it. You got to just, yeah.
And then, and tell. And these aren't even the words that will stick, but they're the closest I have right now.
Oh, is this what you did like a week ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes, Pink hasn't crossed your mind. It's just the way the sun went down. Dirt doesn't turn the worm, but someday something will. Great feaster's famine. Find your spine behind your yellow belly. Keep digging up worm. Your squirm ain't deep enough. We rubbed against the surface. Got us in touch with reaching. Not everything feels like something else. There's slug dust in the salt lick.
I just want to say, like, with Kill, what you were talking about with, it's the first song we started, the last song we finished. That was probably my proudest thing I've done songwriting-wise.
Yeah.
Because it didn't finish, because, like, we were doing, like, 2 halves of a song. Like, they're kind of like 2 different songs. And we were stuck for a fucking, 2 years or something. And then it was like one day, I was trying to, we were teasing the idea of dropping it down, like going slower. But my initial instinct, what I did, my initial instinct was like, nah, I got to bring it up. But then we were teasing that idea of going slower. And I tried so hard for so long to make that work, and I couldn't do it. And then probably my proudest thing, I was like, it was just one day. I was like, fuck it, no, I'm going hard. It's going heavier, and just demoed out the rest of the song. It's almost verbatim,
Yeah.
in the final recording.
No, that was the turning point for Kill.
Yeah.
That made sense.
I was like, yeah, I can still do it. That's all right.
Trust
it
your
was,
instincts.
Yeah, dude, it was.
Follow your heart.
I hope I can top that one day. That was fucking nuts for me. And I was demoing it out, and I wanted to show Grace so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, we lived together. I don't know if we said that or not, but I was just in my bedroom all evening, and I was like, oh, I haven't put bass on it yet. I gotta wait to put bass on it so it's finished, so I can, show him the finished product. I was so excited. Yeah, dude, it was. I remember showing you. You had the headphones on.
So you did end up showing him before the bass?
After I waited till the next day.
He even said, like, I don't know if I want to tell you. I was like,
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Yeah.
I was like, I trust you.
I don't know.
Because at that point, it was kind of me and Tyler against everybody. Not in a way where we were against each other, but it was like everybody was like, let's just do it. And me and Tyler are like, no, you don't just fucking do it. Right?
Get it? Yeah.
There's a thing that we hear, and we will prove
It's one
it
of those
to
things, like I was saying, what's
And-
nice about having a gray.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you get it,
you.
right?
We're like, we'll prove it to you.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, Tyler, you better fucking prove it to him. Because
It only
I'm
took me
talking
2
out
years.
my ass. And then he fucking proved it, you know?
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
and it wasn't like us against them, but like
No.
we made it feel that way, but it's not what it was.
Yeah.
We were just fucking like, no, we know what we want, and that's hell yeah.
I don't like to, like, I really, really don't like, oh yeah, I'm cool. I really don't like tooting my
No.
own horn, but that,
No.
I felt like sharing that one.
But I
I'm like,
will
Yeah.
say,
No, you should be.
that's
you can be,
charlatan.
Yeah, you be proud of what you've done.
Yeah.
I would say that is charlatan. Is like, yeah, we all trust each other and shit, but fucking we argue, and like, I don't know, the right answer wins. It always wins.
Yeah.
It always wins, and we always fucking trust that it wins. You know. I don't know. I speaking for myself, I'm very fortunate in the sense that I don't know. I've been with Heath since I was 15. There's no reason he should have believed in me then, and there's no reason he should believe in me now, but we've been together, you know, and we fucking battled. More than anybody I've ever battled with ever. Me and Heath have been fucking skull to skull. But at the end of the day, doesn't matter what, fucking, I love that dude. He's my fucking brother through and through. And that's just time. I battled with him more than anybody else. But I battled with everybody else in this fucking band. And we all fucking just, we trust each other. We love each other. Sometimes we hate each other. But it's all fucking right here. And what the fuck are we talking about? It's just fucking that charlatan,
No,
dude.
I think that's a good spot to end on because I
Yeah.
feel like that's it's a testament why you guys are cool or why you guys are original or why you do anything on your own or what makes you you
Yeah.
is that.
Yeah.
Like you can see that with comparisons with other famous bands throughout the years. There's that tension. That's what makes there's beauty out of it. So like you can think about how many like Rolling Stones and all these
Right.
they hate each other.
Yeah.
But they're still able to because of that it affects the art everything you bring to the table.
Yeah.
It's reason it's cool is because of that.
Well, and it just shows that you're all like actually passionate about it.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
you have a band that's
What's
just
the point if you're
complacent.
not?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're all complacent.
I cut you off. You were looking up your.
Oh yeah, let's
like,
finish
do you-
with
do you
the
wanna- yeah, do you
can we
wanna
finish
end
with
on
the
that?
lyrics? If end with the lyrics, yeah. So it stopped with Salt Lick.
Oh.
Salt Lake City.
I'll just say it again. Pink hasn't crossed your mind. It's just the way the sun went down. Dirt doesn't turn the worm, but someday something will. Great feast or famine, find the spine behind your yellow belly. Keep digging up worm, your squirm ain't deep enough. We rubbed against the surface. It got us in touch with reaching. Not everything feels like something else. There's slug dust in the salt lick. There's water, but no use drinking. There's sun-dried worms on the pavement. And then, now, this is where I'm stuck now. This is what I got. Rust is jealous of the ways you take. Glass is fearful of how easily you break. And that's where I'm stuck.
That sucks.
But it
dude.
took me. I know, it probably does suck.
Of course I'm joking.
But it took me like 4 or 5 months to get from Pink Hasn't Crossed Your Mind just to that.
Yeah.
And that's half the first chorus.
I love how
Sometimes that's
excited you
what-
were the other day.
Yeah.
when
Just
you're
to get
like,
the extra
"Dude,
lines.
I finally, yeah.
Yeah, it's great stuff, man.
Just context, man.
And
Context.
yeah.
It's like, I don't know what your is about. I don't. Because I know that Kill was the dying, you know, your is the rebirth, and I don't know how to do that.
We'll figure it out.
Anyways,
Thanks for having us, guys.
I
Follow
love
Gray.
being here.
Follow Gray on OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Sex sells.
It does.
Yeah.
But,
SEKCELLS.
No, yeah, I think, yeah. Overall, just to also wrap it up, I just thank you for being
Thank
real.
you.
Thank you for sharing with me. Thank you for just being honest. And I feel like That's great stuff. I feel some songs need that. They need to take extra time. Some
Yeah.
are quick, like you were saying, and that's great. But that doesn't mean that's always the best. Sometimes
No.
things take time. Sometimes they take years, and that's okay.
the
And that's okay.
shit that I just said probably won't even make it.
And that's okay.
But
But I can tell
here
you're
now.
and you're
Yeah.
passionate about
Yeah.
it, and that's what matters. Is that you're taking it forward. You're moving the needle forward
Yeah.
in your own life, and you're doing what you want,
Yeah.
and you're doing what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And when you do that, it doesn't like everyone around you is gravitated towards that because
Mm-hmm.
everybody I think secretly down wants that. They want to just do what they want to do, and they have a hard time. Whatever else gets in the way. So I think to wrap it up, just make art. Just do what you want to do.
Make art.
Make that art.
Make it art.
Yeah. Make it art.
Make it right too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
don't
is art.
compromise. Yeah. You shouldn't have to like.
Content is cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
Content is cool. It's
Full
cool for
circle.
TikTok. It's cool for OnlyFans. It's cool for
For like a promotional sense, it's okay. It's cool. Yeah.
But you got to have something to promote.
And how about this? Like, content is cool, right? The TikTok videos, the OnlyFans, whatever. But like, who you are, like who you have to go to sleep with every night, who you have to fucking wake up with. Like, if that's not art, if that's not fucking real, and it's just fucking content, that fucking blows.
It will never satisfy you.
Yeah.
The numbers. I've post recently by is it Jared Dines. He's really popular on,
Yeah.
on doing those things. He said I think he was having some struggles with depression and things. He's like, it'll never be enough.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't wait till I get 1 million. You got 1 million. Now you
Yeah.
can't wait till you get 2 million. You're like, it's never enough.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be all the fucking matters is the art,
Yeah.
and that you're happy with making that and putting it out. The rest is out of your control. You can't dictate like it's so many things in the world. Maybe it came out on the day of national tragedy. Maybe it wasn't its time to connect with the society. But there's things throughout like history it didn't connect in the time. But give
Yeah.
it 20 years, no one gave a shit about Van Gogh when he was alive.
Yeah.
It wasn't until after he died. So it's just like you that's not up to you. What's up to
No.
you is to create the art, put your whole heart into it, put your full fledged energy and love into it, and just do the art and put it out. That's all you can control. That's all you can do.
You
and
can
all you
be
should
your
do.
only fan. You are.
Yes.
Because if you're not, you're gonna sit there and wait for somebody to fucking hear it, and like,
And then now
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter. I'll tell you what, man. I listened to Remarkable, the title track of Remarkable, and I get it.
There you go, bud.
I get it in a way that I never got it. And
Meaning now
right now,
versus then when you wrote it.
it was 2000 fucking 17.
16, 17. Yeah.
So what?
Oh God, time flies.
8 years. What is that? 10 years? 6 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I
April.
get it now. I didn't know what I was saying then, but I knew it made sense.
Mm-hmm.
I get that song now. I get that song in the way that it makes me fucking cry. And people can listen to that and be like, did you guys sing If You're Happy and You Know It, clap your hands at the end of it? It's like, yeah.
Then you're bad.
And that part is really important to me. It's like, why'd you do that? It's like, you'll never understand. If you don't, who cares? I don't fucking care, but that song makes so much fucking sense to me.
Yeah. And that's all that
Papa,
matters.
I know you love you. Or Papa, I know I love you, but I got shit to do. That fucking line means more to me than almost any other line that I've ever written. It was when my fucking grandpa was going through Alzheimer's and fucking dying, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's all that was about. And it's just fucking, does that matter to anyone? No! But it matters to me. And that's it. You know, and if you don't have that feeling, you'll find it. I believe that art will win over anything. I believe that love or just that fucking feeling right here.
Yeah.
I believe that wins. I believe it wins. because it's the magnitude over the fucking numbers, right?
Yes.
It's the magnitude over the fucking, like, the popular opinion. It's gravity. Gravity wins. It doesn't matter how many fucking ladders you got. You take one bad step, you fucking fall, right? Gravity wins. It has to win.
Every time.
It has to fucking win. I think.
I agree. I believe, yeah, wholeheartedly in everything you just said. Yeah. It's also it's cool to have other people that we, that's what this podcast is about, is community and building and just showing how cool like art is and how cool people making cool shit and just agreeing and just just agreeing on that, just having a camaraderie and a brotherhood through that.
Yeah.
We don't create music together.
No.
We played shows together, but we respect what each other is doing and support each other no matter what.
You've never made a song for me, and I've never made a song for you.
Right.
And I can appreciate your songs, and you can appreciate, I hope, mine. And there's probably a lot of songs that you don't like of mine, and there's probably a lot of songs I don't know of yours.
Right. And that's okay.
And it's fine.
That's
because
fine.
it's fucking that.
Yeah.
It's that gravity, dude.
Yeah.
You have a mass of your own.
You're the only person I think that's ever messaged me. I think you heard one of the songs we were working on at Blues. You're the only person that's ever messaged me and been like, dude, what you guys did.
The Crow
was cool.
song.
Yeah, you're the only person that's ever messaged me and been like, dude, that's awesome.
It moved me.
Oh, okay.
He showed us. He's like, dude, we just did this yesterday. And then he told me the story about how you found that like
The
single
record,
in
yeah.
the record shop.
Yeah,
And
I remember
it
that.
was
If you
over at
want.
Third Man, right?
I remember that.
I wish. No, I found it at the DI down the road.
Oh, was it? I thought he was. Maybe I'm just.
No, you're good.
I
That was
was
a different
probably
stories too together.
okay.
But yeah, because I have the other.
it's the.
But
Yeah.
It's the. Was it acoustic? It was like a.
It's the resonator up there, yeah. Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
how that goes?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember Blue showing us that. That
But
was fucking
yeah,
awesome.
he showed me,
I
and he's
forgot
like,
that was you.
he's saying like that he wants to do this, and I was like, I have to message him, and just tell him that no matter what he does, that I like this version.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm
if
really,
he changes
made me-
it, that's up to him. But like, I wanted you to know that the version I heard was perfect.
Yeah,
in my-
it didn't change at all. It
Yeah.
stayed the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't change
And I
at all.
fucking loved it.
Thanks, man.
Dun, dun,
That actually
dun,
that
dun,
might have been a
dun.
day.
That's how that goes, right? Okay.
That
sorry.
might have been a day where because Blue like said, we just bullshit for a little while before we get started, and I think that was a day where like we were gonna pull up some of my demos to figure out what to work on, and he played that, and I'm like, all right, well, yeah, let's pull up my piece of shit demos now. Yeah, that's cool, dude. Awesome.
Well, I guess bringing it back, that song took like 3 or 4 years to write because I had gotten the thing and I knew what I wanted to do, but I just, like you, getting stuck. I couldn't figure out,
Right.
like, this is special. I don't want to fuck it up.
Right.
I want to make sure it's what it is. And I went through different ideas of stories and what I needed to do and just wouldn't click until finally one day it clicked.
Right.
And then that's what it is. And that's just full circle. You just got to trust in the process.
I still have
Yeah.
one of those in the chamber, the Beat Metal song.
Oh, dude. And I've been trying to get him to unlock that for a minute.
And so,
Because I know
sometimes
it's
it just
I know
takes,
it's
it just
I know
takes
it's good.
time.
It's just not right yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I really enjoyed this.
Yeah,
and I
dude.
appreciate
Yeah,
you
same.
both.
Thanks,
having me.
guys.
Yeah.
You ever wait for your friend to cut you off to save you from rambling?
Thanks for listening to You Guys Shred.